What's going on, everybody? Today is going to be a very fun episode. I'm really excited. We did a lot of prep for this. Hopefully, everything works out. I usually don't do all this fancy editing and stuff, but for you guys, we are doing a themed episode, the World Cup of Nairobi Off Plan Projects 2026. This is a fun one. We're going to have a lot of fun. Your participation is very important because I want to have a dialogue about all this stuff. Please feel free to ask your questions. This is a bit lighthearted, so again, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's not to be taken too seriously. Obviously, a World Cup bracket to compare properties is not the best way to analyze them. I'm going to have a little bit more on that later in the broadcast, but I am so happy to be with you guys on Sunday. For the new people that are just finding me, don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Fagan. I am a real estate broker here in the United States and ventured off to Kenya to do some investments and also have launched a real estate sales company over in Nairobi, Kenya that helps people sort out the market and purchase as safely as possible and to help advise and inform you about the market there and help you make the best decision for yourselves. That company is Almasi Realty. Sorry, I gotta replace this cable. Anyway, I've been in real estate my whole life. I've worked in property preservation after the financial crisis. I was a licensed mortgage loan officer. Um, I've worked as a real estate analyst with a commercial appraisal firm. I've been investing since 2010 when I was in my early 20s. I'm an Army veteran. I've served 15 months in Iraq. Um, yeah, I also invest in properties in Kenya, some rental properties, as long and also in the United States. I've done flips, I've done burr, I do buy and hold, and so I've been around real estate my whole life. It's a passion for me. Been evolving though over time because the market's much different these days, and that's a bit of my background. And today we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to go into basically covering over 40 projects that I've been to or have done at least a decent amount of analysis on. Obviously, some of them more than others. And we're going to talk about all the projects and have some fun with the World Cup theme. I've been pretty mad about how FIFA has been doing the World Cup with the tickets. I would have loved to go because they play right like 45 minutes from me in Philadelphia, but they were price gouging, so I haven't been able to go, but I've been having a great time watching. The USA looks pretty good. Like, are we like top 10 in class right now? Like, I think we can win some knockout stage games. I'm very excited about that. Also, 9 out of the 10 African countries have made it to the knockout rounds. Shout out to DRC from yesterday. They had a really good game. Senegal as well, hanging in there. Cape Verde, that's amazing. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'll go over the rules in a minute. Wait, why are you asking my favorite color? USA players being mostly black is amazing. Why? What? Why? America, I feel like we're very mixed. How about the French team, though? The French team is like an imported West African team, basically. You gotta be first. Hey, we got new members in here. Nathan Basanga, 7231. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I have an announcement about enhanced membership benefits. Oh, Freedom joined. Welcome. Thanks, Freedom. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys. I'm looking at adding more value into the membership. If you guys have been noticing, I've been adding a couple more videos. And when we really want to get involved in like kind of finances or my personal stuff or things that I'm doing, if you really want to know, you got to go into the details. Yes, I talk about it on here, but if you want to know every dollar, I had to do a full analysis of my first property that I purchased. I shared every transaction, everything that happened, the return on investment. It's been over a year since I've taken over the property, all the mistakes, the pitfalls, especially early on when I was first in Kenya, and my experience and how, I've been evolving to help you guys avoid some of these things and make smarter decisions. Although it wasn't a disaster, just that's a members only video that just came out that I'm pretty happy with how that came out. So hopefully it's very helpful. Please give me feedback in there. But anything like I also do some investing with a trust and also directly with some of the wealth management firms, and I'm sharing that information as well. I have some more videos that will stay in members only for that kind of stuff. Some experiments I've been doing with other capital markets. So, I'm trying to add value into the membership as much as possible. If you're on the inner circle, that gives you unlimited access to me basically for now. We're going to limit it once it's too many people. But, I consult with you guys, answer your questions. If you work with Almasi Realty, we kind of do the same thing, but that's with the anticipation that you're buying a property, so we get paid from the commission uh, on that way. So that makes sense. As a South American here, I'm just looking at everyone. Can't wait. Hey, what wealth management firm? I am not giving recommendations because I'm still playing around with that stuff. And one of the things about doing this content is I surely do not want to lead someone astray. I will not sleep good at night. And so I try to be as careful as possible about recommendations. In the membership, right now, I'm just sharing my experience. And if something goes wrong, I'll definitely let you guys know. So far, it's been good, but I, I don't know enough to make a recommendation. So, as you guys see, like with the real estate, I'm getting more having, I guess, a bigger opinion or more comfort with certain opinions. And when I don't know, I will tell you. But when I feel comfortable giving advice or giving information, then I do that. So I try to be careful because, you know, the interesting thing about the internet is like you put information out there and people might act on it without getting the full context or talking to you or anything. So you have to kind of be careful about. I try to be conscious of that because I know that some people never reach out. They don't say anything, and they may act based off of even a small clip that you said. So you guys notice I've been doing more shorts. I've been trying to figure that out. But a lot of the things that I do requires a lot of context. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with that. How far do you think the USA goes in the World Cup? Well, I would expect us to beat Bosnia, and then even in the next knockout round, I'm not sure. Um, I think the potential teams that we could play, we could still win. So I think we can win at least two knockout stage games. I don't know if we can compete with like France, Germany, Spain. Spain is kind of iffy sometimes because they like to have too much possession more than they like to score. So some of these teams I think we maybe could pick off. Pulisic being injured is a problem. Our subs, I don't know because we played with a different team in the Turkey game, so I don't really take much from that. Shout out to Brendan Aronson. He's from like 20 minutes from where I'm at now. I think he's from Medford, so and he's a young guy, so very cool. I like the team. I think we look like a proper team, so I'm excited about that. Um, absolutely. So Oh, okay. So I was talking about membership, and we are adding something from Almasi that Inner Circle members will get the benefit of. And let me bring up that. So I'm working on this. This is in beta, but for those of you guys who want to check it out, you will be everyone who's an Inner Circle member. If you reach out, um, email or fill out the contact form on the website, we can add you and give you a membership to the Almasi Insider, which is a special um, analytical page that has reports on all the projects that we have fully analyzed. And so it's going to be, if you guys like to do a lot of research, if you guys really want to know, basically it's making a report so that all the information's in one place versus just listening to me or watching the videos. This kind of formalizes a lot of what I've been talking about. This is in pilot. We don't have all the reports in. I'm still doing them. It takes a long time to do these reports because we're adding comparable rentals. We're basically doing a lot of analysis here, and then finding the best way to list it. So if you become a uh, YouTube member, you'll be able to have access, but eventually we're going to launch this to the public. So if you want an access to our reports and analysis in the Nairobi market, you're going to, it is a paywall thing. So there'll be a certain monthly amount or an annual that you can pay for to have access to all our reports. And kind of like what Hosket Salt is doing and these other companies, we want to do our own perspective on these projects to help advise people. So this is kind of what it's looking like. One of the reasons I want to include you guys in here is to give me feedback. So I'd love to hear, what you like to see, how you like to see it. If there's any bugs, we're still working on the page, obviously. See all these coming soon reports. But we have, like, for example, let's open the Diplomat here. This is what the reports are going to look like. So we have a classification because matching the project to the individual is one of the biggest things that we're doing. We want to make it make sense for whatever your goals are. That's one of our biggest goals. And so we give you the description, you get some photos. We do have a rating. Here's our Google map of it, so you can actually move around and see where things are. Here's our rating. It's in diamonds because Almasi means diamond in Swahili. Obviously, this is one of our favorite properties with the Diplomat, but it's pretty balanced. Who is it for? This short-term, medium-term rental. It's not really ideal for large families, buyers who want low density. If you're upset about it having 800 units, then you probably don't want that. So we have some analysis there. And then again, what kind of buyer are you and how does this fit into what you're looking to do? See, and then, for larger families, probably doesn't make that much sense. We go into why we like the location, the rental demand, the fit, the history of the developer, the finish quality or perceived finish quality, investment ranking, etc., etc. Also with risk. Then, what many of you guys ask for is looking at the numbers. Now, am I the most comfortable with all the numbers all the time? It's a little hazardous because of the lack of data, but and everything's in dollars, by the way, because everyone's asking for things to be in dollars. So there's that. And then we kind of talk about the different units, and then we think the 43 square meters at the Diplomat is going to make you the highest return on investment. It kind of consolidates everything. Here's some of our assumptions: $45 a night, 20 nights, $900 a month. Turns out to be about this gross ROI. We're not factoring in the expenses. If you go unfurnished, that's kind of what you're looking at. And then here's the comp. We were comping the Diplomat to a SCADA, not exactly a one-to-one. because Escada's on the other side of the highway. They're asking 63 a night at a lot of these studio units, and we're assuming that we get 45 a night. So we try to keep it reasonable because the asking doesn't mean that they're getting it all the time. That's my issue with Airbnb reports. Then we compare it with the 52 square meter. We do an analysis on the 88 square meter. We use Skynest as a comp, and we kind of aggregate a couple of the different Skynest comps, but they're asking quite a bit. And so we base our analysis off of different comps and what's going on. And we'll always get better with this, but and also we'll be updating the reports over time as the development progresses. We talk about the developer history, concerns, finish quality, the location, even so, like where your unit is, what block maybe to look out for. I've been advising people about this, but they're still buying over there. So block B, rear obstruction concerns. So we really tried to give you all the considerations in the report that also will help you if you're thinking about buying. It may bring up ideas about things that you're not or haven't even thought of. If you go through the report, you'll be like, oh, that's a good point. I think that's a big thing because you might not know all the questions to ask. And this report is based off of all of the things that we tried to consider when looking at a property. And then we have the risks, even though we highly rate this development. Hey, it has 800 units. That's a heavy concentration of smaller units. So obviously, you know, in a downturn or something, it could be an issue. Property management risk, you're going to see this for pretty much every property, especially because they have so many units. There's a lot of wear and tear on amenities. We do note the Westlands supply coming in 2028. Obviously, there's risk with operating short-term rental. We're worried about, or you know, there's some factor with taxes, business travel, etc., with protests and things. Make sure you select the right unit, etc., etc. What could make our thesis fail? These are some of the risks as well. And then here's our final conclusion. And so every report is going to be based in this way. And so if you're in the Inner Circle members, that's the $25 a month one on the YouTube, get in contact with me, whether you fill out the form on Almasi's website as on the contact form, or if you have my direct info, I need your email and I need your YouTube profile name, and we'll give you a login to this so that you can have access to these reports. I would just ask that you guys give us feedback. I think it's going to take us another month, maybe 2 months to launch this to the public because I have to put all the reports in there before we would open it up. But the idea is not only to just do property reports, but once we have more information, especially with the sales, we'll kind of know more about the sales velocity and things like that. So definitely excited about this. It's fun, but a lot of work to get these reports out. So I hope you guys find value in it because goodness gracious, it's a lot of work to put that all together. I kind of really want to hire somebody to help with this because it's a lot. And I think it's very valuable. It should be pretty valuable in the market because I think one of the better things or value that people find from what we're doing is the analysis and my/our opinion. So let me know. Please give me feedback on that. American journalists are setting you guys up for some good trolling. The World Cup has been a good introduction for me to American sports journalism. It's so hyper and fun. Well, our soccer coverage is kind of weird because we have Alexi Lawless and he has a very unique energy about him. I appreciate it because he's like very diehard, but goodness. Nairobi Barbie, how are you? What's going on? Wait, what are we? I'm too slow. See, now it's not. It's not. It would have been fun, better if I did it faster. Martin Invest, have you heard of Stellar Bay? I have. Don't know anything. Usually, when I'm not in country, I don't. I can't analyze a property because you have to be there to really like fully absorb what's going on. Very informative, especially for people who are remote and not very knowledgeable of all the projects. Yeah, that's our number one goal is just information. So, are you guys ready for what we're doing today? The World Cup of Nairobi properties. Hold on. Let me get things together here. Oh, not that. We don't want that. All right. All right. Hold on. How can we do this? I'm struggle streaming at the moment. Okay, okay, wait. Hey. Hey. Okay. All right. Let's get in the mood here. All right. So, let me read the rules. Let me read the rules here. Let me turn this down a little bit. Hey, okay. Actually, let's do it like this. Bam. Okay. So, what we're doing here is putting 40 properties all against each other. There's 10 groups of 4, so there's a group stage. The top 2 advance, but actually the top 3 advance because the numbers had to work out that way. Um, then 2 of the 4th place teams, we'll call them the host cities, and so they'll get a second try at winning something, and then we're going to have 6 knockout rounds to declare a champion project in Nairobi. Or actually, there's some in Syokimau as well. So that's Machakos County, but they can still be the Nairobi champion. Okay. And so the way that we're analyzing this is a little bit more lighthearted. And because some of the projects are for different people, I want to let you guys know that, you know, putting them up to each other in this way isn't exactly fair. Just because some of them lose against others doesn't mean that they're not as good necessarily. We're kind of going off of not, I wouldn't say vibes, but not a heavy analysis like what I was just showing you guys. When I was going through and making the picks, it was just a kind of a feeling based off of all the information I know. So it's not exactly fair to all the projects. So don't think one is really bad and another is really good. We would have to get more into it. If you guys want to know more details on like why one thing was picked versus another, let's have a conversation about it in the comments and then I'll address some of those things. I'm not going to go into a deep dive for all 40 projects. That's crazy. I'll do a bit of an overview of everything. If you're interested in certain projects over others, then we could stop and talk about it. So you guys are going to help as far as what should we spend time on? What are we going to, what are we going to emphasize? I know I get a lot of questions about certain projects that I haven't talked about that much. So maybe this is an opportunity to talk about them. Let's see. We got some comments here. Nairobi Barbie. Hi Ryan, you got to talk about the tight parking spots and if the property don't got green spaces, they are ghetto and shouldn't make it to any list on God. Because I drive the Ford Ranger Wild Track, I feel you because some of these places I can't even navigate the parking lot without reversing a million times. Like even just going through it, that is a problem. The funny thing about in the US, you have to submit your plans and they would not approve them if your parking lot doesn't fit certain parameters. But can you? And it's not something that you'll really know much about until the project's done because they're not going to you're not going to be able to look at their parking layout and know how tight it's going to be or not. Because some places do have decent parking lots. A lot are pretty bad, especially navigating up and down. So it's a bit sucky, to be honest. It's an afterthought for sure. And you'll be appreciative if you have a good parking lot. All right. Are you guys ready? I'm nervous now. Hey, I'm nervous because, there's lots of opinions about this stuff. Okay. All right. Please ask your questions. Let me know what you like, don't like. Let me get in here. All right. Here's the first group stage. All right. Now, ignore the weird little logos they put. We just tried to make it festive. I know Groutwork is going to put so many projects. Yeah, but they compete against each other, right? So I'm not, it's not a pass or fail thing. So here's our groups. I did try to group them in ways that it makes sense, but I also had it randomized um, amongst the different groups. And so Group A, Morvara, Amethyst, Acacia, that's the Pandora developer. And I was wondering, like, how should I show you guys all this? Because you guys don't know. I know what they look like. I know everything. How am I don't want to show all 40 projects and all the pictures. So I don't know how we're going to do it. But let me know what you want to see. And Ivy Park. This is like a tough group because all of these are quite viable projects and I have opinions about them, but we'll talk about it when we see the group results. All right, Group B, Golden Mansion, Galaxy One, Mont Blue, Luck and Ivy. Oh, I should mention that I, I didn't put Diplomat because it's well sold, but it kind of doesn't make sense because some of these other projects are sold mostly. And so in my mind, I rate them a little lower based off of what they currently have, which is not really fair because when they had full availability, some of these probably would have ranked better. So I want to point that out as we go along. Uh, all of these are in Westlands. In Group B, Group A, Morvara, Westlands, Amethyst, Kilimani, Acacia, Kilimani, Ivy Park, Kilimani. Group C, Executive Suites. That's the new Wonder Properties project after the Diplomat in Riverside. Luminara, you know that's a strong contender there. Somebody last week was like, we know who's going to win. City Rise, that's actually right across the street from Luminara in Westlands. Gemini, many people have talked about Gemini. The fact I don't have a video about Gemini is an interesting thing, but there's reasons. But we're going to talk about Gemini because we've been getting a lot of questions about it. Group D, Marina Bay. That's on Raptor Road in Westlands. Hefe Palace, Belgravia, Brookside Oak. This is another tough group. We'll have to see how they come out. Group E, Diamond Bay. Mara Grove, that's in Siokimau. We did not do a video on this project, but we spent probably 2 hours there analyzing it. I just never completed a video about that project. Verona, Mango Tree. Verona's next to Pandora. They made us take down the video, but we're going to rank them anyway. Mango Tree, which is in Siokimau. So Group E is like leftovers. So that's going to be an interesting group. It's going to give someone a chance to get out of the group and compete against some of the other properties. Group F, Only You. That's a high-end luxury development in Kilimani and in a green part of Kilimani. Actually, it's quite misleading when you see Kilimani. This area is quite nice, and it's not like the rest of Kilimani, kind of like where I stay at Alina Harbor. So, very interesting project. Developer history could be a problem for them and their scoring. Maybe it catches up to them and bites them in the bootay. Bahari Homes. It's on Karichwa Road, and it's a family format property. We don't have a video about it. It's actually pretty much complete, but they still have availability. Very good location. Luna Oak, very close to Only You, so we love that area, and it's by Oak Residency, one of the highest quality developers, and this is a larger format property as well with 3 and 4 bedrooms. I think it has some 2s, but it's mainly made for bigger families, but its pricing is quite competitive for the square meters and the developer history and quality. We haven't done a video about it yet because it's new and I had to leave Kenya before I was able to get over there. But that's going to be the first video when I get back to Kenya. It's going to be Luna Oak and some of their other projects as well. And of course, Gaia, which had a S tier in our tier rating. How do we feel about it today? We'll have to see. That's in Brookside. So these are Group F is all family style projects with 3 bedrooms. Group G, Venus Oak, that's by Starroot. It only has 4-bedroom units in Kilauea. That kind of, they call it Oak, but it's not by Oak Residency, the developer. So that's kind of interesting. Pandora. I wasn't sure if we would put Pandora in here because it's quite sold, but it still has a lot of 3 and 4-bedroom availability, so it made it into Group G. Balkis, that's on Riverside. That's a competitor with places like Executive Suites, Cheval, Pavo, and a bunch of the other Riverside projects. Beacon by Sienna, that's a large family style project in Kilauea. We really like the quality over there. Oh, we got the techno music. Group H, Golden Hill. That's the super high end. Starts at like 39 million, I believe. In Westlands by Karua Forest. Very nice location by the developer of Golden Mansion. That might come back and bite them. The Saruni, the American developer on Riverside that everyone asks about. I've been there. I have thoughts. Marble West, Muthiti Road. Interesting project. The only problem is it's like they sold out so fast. Amto View. This is another one that we were supposed to do a video about. I think this is a very interesting, viable project on Raptor Road for long-term buyers, personal use, hybrid. So this group is going to be an interesting one. They're kind of all over the place. Group I. This is the affordable category. 300 Woodley Village. I hope you guys saw that video. They have the studio all the way at 2.5 million Kenyan shillings. So very affordable for that. What's 2.5 million Kenyan shillings? Like 19,000 US dollars. So, and then Astra Bay, very similar, but it's in Kitasuru, so a little or Lower Kibete. And that was featured by the Wandering Investor. A million people ask about it. We've been covering this property for a long time. Berkeley Homes, a very affordable one in Kilauea. This developer is associated with the Bahari Homes people, so very interesting. And then Bahari Starlit, which is linked with Bahari Homes as well. Another affordable, more hotel style, but in Kilauea. It's an interesting option. We have, and so this group I is very interesting for the affordables. Who's going to come out of this group? We'll have to find out. Group J, Libra, is by the Only You people. That's their cheaper branding. So they use, they'll call things Libra and other astrological signs that I can't think about right now. We have Oak West by the same people as Luna Oak. That's in Westlands. Cheval, everyone's asking about it. We put it in here. Have we done a full analysis on it? No, so don't take everything that I'm saying too heavy on that one, but very popular one in Riverside. Asking for quite a bit of money though, like 3 million more for a 1-bedroom versus the typical market because it's round maybe. Berkeley Residences. So this is the new one by Berkeley Homes people, but this one is on Raptor Road. Very, very well priced for the area. It's probably one of the cheapest projects in that area that you would be able to buy. So we find that one quite interesting. What's going on with the comments, guys? Are you guys here? Why is everyone being quiet? Talk to me nice. Like, what's going on? Freedom. American developers are getting their backsides kicked by the Chinese and others. They don't understand regular New York City style blocks just won't cut it. Well, Also, I should save it. I should save it. I have a lot of thoughts about that and the Saruni. I have many thoughts. So, are we ready to get into the group results? Are you guys ready? I feel like we're going too fast. I wanted to have more conversation. What do you Okay, before we do that, who who's the top 4 out of these? Like, what projects do you like? What do you want to hear more about? Like, give me some feedback, guys. Like, what's going on? We got 46 people in here, a bunch of ninja watchers just not saying anything. I really want to know. Also, I never say this, but like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Actually, share the video, send the video to somebody. Send it on WhatsApp. I see a lot of you guys send the video also on WhatsApp in our analytics, so I appreciate that. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for some comments, I don't have a USA jersey, which is crazy, but I play in a league here and I sponsor the team. So that's where this jersey comes from. Last week I had the white version. Now I have the primary colors that are the real estate jersey. I'm in shape. I'm ready for the season. It starts in August. Wish me luck, guys. Hopefully I don't pull a hamstring or something. My cardio is real bad, but I'm excited. But I should have had a USA jersey. I'm not no feedback today. I can't believe it. You guys are leaving me hanging. All right, well, I guess we're just gonna go on Berkeley residence. I'm curious. Yeah, Berkeley residence is cool because they have stuff all the way down in the 6 million range in Raptor Road. What? Actually, let's pull that up. Let's pull up Berkeley residences real quick before we get into everything, because I'm still waiting for you guys to comment some things. I'm looking. I'm on our website. I wish our search was better, but it's not better yet. Okay. Berkeley residences. Yeah, see, it starts at 5,150,000. Let's add it to the stage. So here it is. Here's some of the renders. It's right on Raptor Road. I like the render. My question with this developer, we really want to see a show house because this developer worked with Bahari Homes, and Bahari Homes quality is like, their layout is like an 8, but the finish quality is like a 5. But the thing about their projects are that if the quality is a finish quality is a 5, that makes sense for like what you're paying for it. So like if you're not super obsessed with having the highest quality, I think that's okay. Like, are they going to do all this wallpaper and stuff? Which wallpaper on these concrete walls is actually a good idea. So, oh, so that's that. And then here's their project layout. They have 49 square meters, 5.15 to be in that location. Pretty good. The 69 square meters is only 7 to be on Raptor Road. Again, pretty good. I always like these smaller 2 bedrooms because basically the study, you could still have a bedroom. So at 7.35, that is really competitive. Nobody is in that type of pricing. This 82 square meters is priced like Luminara and many of the other lower Westlands projects, and that's why this development is quite interesting. Even the biggest 2-bedroom is only 11.17, which they're usually going for 13 million starting. Now, see, when we do our report, though, we may put a watch rating on this because we want to see Berkeley Homes show house before we'd say that maybe you should commit to it. So, yeah. All right, let's get to the comments. What do we got going on here? You'd like to hear more about Morvara, but that's really just because I bought at Morvara. Well, Morvara sits in an interesting category, and we'll talk about that in a couple seconds. You bought without us? That's messed up. Yeah, okay, here's the other thing. You guys will go on your own and buy stuff and then ask for our advice and help. We still be helping, but use us because at some point I'm gonna stop helping y'all if we're not your registered agent with the developer. Cause y'all be buying stuff and then be like, I'm not sure, help me, tell me all the inside information about the project, and then I'm giving you free game because I care about your well-being and that you don't get screwed. But stop that. Let's hear your thoughts on the Saruni. I can't wait to talk about the Saruni. I was gonna put Silva Gagiri on there. I had it on there. I took it off because I haven't been to their office and I haven't. It wouldn't be fair to put it on there. Berkeley Residences has a good location. I agree. I'm most interested in 3 to 5 bedroom properties. Okay, so I could tell you, Luna Oak. Definitely look into it. But see, guys, don't talk to the developer directly. At least tell them you came from us or something, for goodness gracious. Listening closely. To be fair, we haven't seen the ones you posted to say what's the possible. Wait, you haven't seen AA? Put some Haas projects in the bracket. I can't put them because they don't let me analyze them. So I would put them, but they make it hard to have the information to rank them. You see what I'm saying? Because look, most of these projects I spend 1.5, 2 hours, 2.5 hours going over everything, looking at the site, looking at the what's built around it, looking at all the different units. Like this is, um, a good amount goes into most of them, and the ones that I don't know that well, I'll definitely say. But like Haas literally doesn't answer the phone. We haven't seen all the properties to say the best four, to be fair, all the show houses. Yeah, so that's the other thing. That's a good point. If they don't have a show house, we're leaning on their developer history. And if they don't have a long history, we're leaning on whatever information we can glean from how they conduct themselves, how their sales office is, how they operate things. If they worked with other developers before, it's not a perfect thing, right? That's what I'm saying. So we're having fun. Don't take all these rankings as gospel. I bought months ago. Oh, okay. All right. All right. You're off the hook. Does Raptor Road flood? Guys, when you buy these projects, the residential floor is like 2, 3, 4 stories up. Flooding can still be an issue, yes, because if you're driving or you're trapped there or whatever, or like the amenities get flooded. I I I think don't worry about it too much, number one. But to answer your question, I'm not sure about that area if it floods. I don't think it was notable that it does flood though. But I did buy a diplomat with you. Yes, I know. I appreciate it. What's up with the diplomat and their contracts? Their lawyer is like, don't even get me started. We're about to. I'm gonna keep it to the World Cup, but they better stop playing. I'll leave it at that with Wonder Properties for now. Goodness gracious, they have good products, but all right. Is this music? How y'all feel about this music? I don't know. It's making me anxious. We need a good soundtrack. All right, that's fine. Taking ages, bro. We have so many people without contracts at Wonder Properties. Also, their lawyer just argues to argue, and like I think even Wonder Properties would just give you some of the things that you're asking for in the contract, but that law firm is like, I mean, if you want a law firm that's just gonna like say no to everything and fight super hard, then I guess hire them. But uh, it's becoming an issue. Okay, let's get the results of the group stage. Are you guys ready? All right, here it comes. Oh no. Okay. Here are the results. The top two qualify. The third place team also qualifies, but we're calling them a wild card. The fourth place team is eliminated, but there's two host teams. So Group A and F, Acacia by A1 Group and the Pandora people, they make it through because they're a host nation. And same thing with Only You, Group F. They're going to move on to the next stage. So, Group A, this was really tough, but I think this is rated properly. Let me give a disclaimer. Amethyst, they literally just had a court date about their ability to continue the project. I don't have the results of that. They've been on pause, but I have included them to analyze the project because I think it's an important project and it's one of the better developers because they're GY Group. And they won the group. Coming up next, which these are direct competitors. If you're interested at Amethyst, you should always view Ivy Park. And Ivy Park takes second. Morvara, wild card. We don't have a video about Morvara yet, but that's another one that is on our agenda. Morvara's in Westlands. Let's pull that one up. Actually, let's show you guys a couple of these things. So here's Amethyst. Kilimani, 7 million. I'll skim through the pictures. It's pretty baller. And GY Group Emerald Springs looks exactly like the renders. So I feel confident that these crazy, cool looking renders will actually come true. Believe it or not, like this, I think within the actual project, if they're allowed to build it, inside is going to be pretty amazing. And everyone has to have a paddleball court these days. Look at this bar. Like, imagine inviting your guest over here or just hanging out on a Tuesday. You can get vibes from your building. You don't even have to go out. Look at this cool thing. I like the theme. I don't know about these floating units. I'm good on that. Cool building. They have purple lights. It's going to be a landmark for sure because Emerald Springs is a beautiful building. One of the nicest exteriors in Westlands right now. Stands out. It has a podcast studio. I really like that. So if you're a content creator, you can use that. Co-working space, which I've been finding more value with the co-working space personally. Obviously, gym, game lounge, cinema. This is their thing with the curved glass. And I believe these units are a little bit bigger than Emerald Springs because that was the criticism there. Plus, you're in Kilimani, so you can get a little bit more space. I like that they're going with the more earthy. I like this bathroom. Think that looks cool. It has the little like hexagon thing, so it's like a stone. I think it's going to be a nice looking project. Just be careful, guys. Just be aware. There's in a court case. I don't know if it was resolved or not. I guess we should show you Acacia. My issue and the reason why Acacia went fourth, even though it's the Pandora developer, A1 Group, is because when they launched this, it was supposed to be serviced apartments that came furnished, at a higher price. Then they changed it. They're saying that they're not the main developer or that it's a joint partnership. They don't tell you who the partner is. Half of the units are sold or not available from launch. It's a little shady, which makes me uncomfortable to be. And I was so excited when they sent me the information, and then once I started getting all the details, I got really disappointed because they're being weird about it, unfortunately. Um, Looks good, renders look good, and they, if it's actually the same people building it, which I'm not even exactly sure, I don't know. It's also in Kilimani, next to the Nigerian High Commission on, I believe it's Lanana Road. Kind of a weird concept for that location because this seems very high end, but that area is not exactly the most high end. I said I wasn't going to go through all this stuff, but looks like I am. I like how the renders look, and I'm inclined to believe that they'll deliver on the renders. Yo, what's up? You guys are just satisfied, just ninja watching me today. No, I don't even. What's up with y'all? You know, what's going on, guys? I like these new bathrooms are looking like that. You know, this looks like Luminara like a lot. I like all this. It's cool. It's cool. You know, they brought the price down because it was much higher because it was coming furnished. They have 1 and 2 bedrooms. It's very hotel style, 59 square meters, so kind of smaller units. And for Kilimani, this price, that is the new Kilimani price, kind of. So now that they've reduced it, it's not as bad. But the way the way they did the launch really rubbed me the wrong way. You know, the service charge was going to be like 60,000 or something because it was service. Then they changed it. Like, what are they doing? I can't mess with it right now just because of that. Maybe when I get there, maybe I talk to the developer more. They got to explain themselves to me for me to be comfortable at this point. Um, yeah, see, this is the location. And guys, you could use our website, and actually the map search I highly recommend because it's very helpful to see what's going around. But this is, I like Lanana Road there, but it is quite busy. It's very central. But if for a hotel style, it kind of makes sense. And then we have the floor plans. We have a lot of good information on the website actually. So uh, don't hesitate to use almasirealty.com. Let's see the comments. Amethyst still seems risky. They were supposed to do groundbreaking almost a year ago. So this is another, and I know you were involved with them way before we were even doing our services. Like when you go to the sales office every week, they're like, "Oh, it'll get cleared up next week." That's what they'll tell you. That's why we can help put things in proper context because I could tell when they're blowing smoke or not. It's risky. Yes, it is risky. I'm not saying you should like buy it or book it. Again, we should put an asterisk is like we're assuming that they're gonna be able to continue. So yeah. Okay. So that was Group A. We have Amethyst, Ivy Park, let's look at Morvara because Morvara we haven't covered so much. Looks cool. It's on the lower Westland side. Let me get the map here. So if you look at the map, Luminara, City Rise, Luck and Ivy, Oak West, Magotio Oasis are all on this road here. And this is lower Westlands. And so Morvara is a little bit further down. Actually, they're getting kind of close to where a CBD would be, but it's still in an interesting location. The reason why this is an interesting project is because the pricing for the size is pretty good. So 67 to 69 square meters, 8.35, pretty good price per square meter for the area. Um, Again, with the 2 bedrooms, 13 million for this size versus usually you'd see 88 square meters at this price. And they have one studio, 1, 2, 3. So they kind of have everything for everybody, even with the DSQ. The amenities look cool. I'll show you some of the renders. Now, this developer is the same one as Amto View, which has a show house. I'd give their quality like expectation maybe a 5 or a 6. So that's the only thing. But if you're looking for this type of style, I think it's worth looking at. I think if you're looking at Diplomat, you should look at Luminari, you should look at Oak West, you should look at Morvara, Hefe Palace. If you want to look at Golden Mansion, you can. But here's the renders for this. Again, renders or whatever. Looks amazing, but in practice, when you get there, I wasn't, unless they're going to step their game up in quality, I just thought it was like serviceable. But looks cool. For the price and what they currently have available, it's a viable option. Just know that I'm not sure their quality is going to be keep up with like the Amethyst / Emerald Springs people, even the Diplomat, Luminar, etc. I don't think it's going to be up there with that. And this is what I'm saying. Like, we don't have the show house. Maybe they knock our socks off. For example, even Diplomat was better than I thought it was going to be. So there is that. Lanana Road is less busy than Mufiti Road cluster. Yes, it is. But you can't compare Kilimani and Westlands like that, you know. But that's why I like Kilimani. I feel like Kilimani is a little bit easier to get around, even in traffic, than Westlands. You haven't spoken on 1050 Kilimani. I haven't been there. Yeah, see, like being close to that area, I used to think was good, but I don't like that area. I was going to buy Capricorn, but then I learned that seems like a headache, being near CJ's and Yaya Center and all that. Also, I think Boris has a exclusive on that one. Okay, so there's that group. Group A. I don't. Let's change the vibes here. What song can we do? Okay, wait. Yeah. Okay. Group B, Luck and Ivy, which has very limited availability, but the Ivy group has good quality. Mont Bleu, very not much availability as well. This is also in Westlands. They take the first and second spot. Mont Bleu had, I really liked Mont Bleu, but like when we went there, their salespeople, I guess because it's mostly sold, were like, here's a hard hat. You can go look for yourselves. I was like, okay. So I guess because it's sold, they didn't care. Galaxy One makes the wild card. Galaxy One is also on Raptor Road, first time developer. We really need to see a show house from these guys to really have more information. We did the video there and everything, but we're cautiously seeing what's going on with them. You know, can't fully rate them yet. Can't fully do it. Sorry, I'm bringing up some of the new listings here. Boom. And then Golden Mansion. Sorry. What? No. Yeah. Sorry. Give them another one. Okay. Location's fine. They actually have a corner lot, which is very beneficial because now you have two street side angles. I can't rock with the show house. I think it was hyped up by the wandering investor and the launch pricing that they had. Also, personal bias, they personally invited us to their new developments launch event, and then they told us they didn't have any tickets. Kind of annoying. Like, why would you do that? I had a whole meeting with them, and then they kind of screwed me. So I'm like, what? And I already told them, I was like, I don't really like the show house. Maybe that's why they backed out. I don't know. The recessed lighting doesn't come with it. that you look at the show house, so I'm feeling like it could be a little dark. The windows are small, and we know, we love views. The benefit is that they have bigger balconies than everyone else as a redeeming quality. Pricing is pretty good, but out of all the projects in that area, we usually skip them, to be honest. Sorry, guys. And now they have Golden Hill, which is in Group H. Oh gosh, you could see it. Um, yeah. Well, I'll show you guys that in a minute. Group C. This is a tough group. Look at this competition here. It's the group of death in here. Luminara, Gemini, Executive Suites, City Rise. Luminara takes it. Could you have guessed that we were going to have Luminara win? Gemini, we don't have a video out, and we're going to talk about Gemini. Gemini took the second spot over Executive Suites. What's going on here? Executive Suites on Riverside, Gemini and Brookside, Luminara Westland, City Rise. We didn't do a video there because it wasn't very nice, but it's cheap. If you're looking for something cheap, maybe consider it. But I think there's better options even on that road. Luminara versus Gemini versus Executive Suites. Executive Suites takes the wild card because they've changed some of their design and layouts and things at Executive Suites, and even their management was unclear about some things. And so they made me a bit uneasy. Plus, dealing with the lawyer at Wonder Properties is starting to hurt them as a developer. How they run things over there with the sales is getting a little. It puts them in the wild card. I think it's a good project, but some of the stuff surrounding the project is starting to get kind of weird. Gemini. I was going to buy Gemini when I was first in Kenya in 2024 when it was announced. It's a fantastic location. The renders were amazing. The amenity package is probably one of the best. Their gym is going to be amazing. It has glass on all sides. It's going to have a lot of views. They're a little bit higher priced. They're high up there like Brookside Oak because they're in Brookside. Also, Star Roots renders from like Capricorn did not deliver, so I'm a little worried that Gemini needs to be high end to justify the price and the luxury feel. I need to see a show house, and they should have a show house by now, but they don't. It's kind of a red flag to me. With all that being said, if they pull off what they're trying to pull off, I do think it's a good project. We have taken clients there before. And even me would maybe consider it because of the location. They're also getting punished because other developers are building things all around them. They had to redesign Gemini Phase 2, which basically Gemini Phase 1 and 2 are just 2 blocks next to each other. I think there's still good units there, but you have to be very careful about your unit selection so that your view's not getting blocked. The cool thing is most of the development's already being developed, so you can kind of strategically pick your unit. Just be careful, make sure you know what you're looking for there. And again, that's where we provide services with Almasi. We can send our agents there to take photos from the different units. So even if you're buying from home, which surprisingly a lot of you guys like to do, we can verify the views for you before you pick because it can be hard to select a unit. So Gemini, good project, questionable on if they're going to deliver on the quality and that it's a troubled site. But other than that, their amenity package, and if they deliver what they're supposed to deliver, I think it's going to be a really good project. But some questions. Executive Suites we talked about. So that's what's Executive Suites design totally changed. Yeah, so I don't like that. And I had a meeting with them one time, and they had contradictory information between the manager and the salespeople. And I said, we're going to have to put the brakes on this because what the heck are y'all doing? Well, no emerald. Emerald is basically at completion. That's why it's not here. Otherwise, it would be very highly rated, to be honest. What are Gemini prices? Let me pull up our sheet on Gemini. The issue is that they don't have a lot of availability. I think it's mostly 2 bedrooms left, which 2 bedrooms in that area are good because Gemini is the kind of place that you would buy to stay long term, feel luxury, or you could rent it out to more long term professionals that want to be in that area that are willing to pay a little bit more because they're kind of in the know. So it's if you're buying for the right reason, I think it's a very viable project. That's why we take people there when they fit that category. See, it's 9M starting, but that is kind of how Brookside goes. So this was the pricing, although it may have changed since we updated this. So for the best information, we had to go back and check. But see, 14M for 90 square meter, 2 bedroom, quite a bit steep, but not unreasonable if they deliver what they're saying. 16M for 110 square meters, 17.6 for 122. So here's the renders. See, they have good renders. It's got that shiny look to it, though, that people can like or dislike. I just don't, is it going to be like this? Because does this fridge have like electronic things on? Oh, well, because they don't give you the fridge anyway. And guys, these wall panels are always extra. These light fixtures are always extra. This light could be extra anyway. Just going through here. I like the undermount lighting. The doors are nice. It has a sauna. They have one of the best amenity packages. Although everyone else is catching up, they have the cool paddle court like on the roof, second level of the roof. I think this is going to be an amazing thing. They have 2 infinity pools on each block. This is the game lounge? Look at that. That's going to be nice. Infinity pool. Yeah, the views facing Waiyaki Way are going to be really nice. Are they really going to do their hallway like this? If they do, that'll be nice. See, that's what I'm worried about. Is this just going to be white, unfinished walls? Are they going to really put artwork on the walls? Are they doing this gypsum with the recessed lighting? I need to see that. Like, let's see something. Oh, the gym. The gym is going to be lit. Like, this amenity floor is going to be nice because they have so much glass, and the garden and courtyard, and they have an outside view. Meeting room, very good. Laundry. Now, people are doing these laundries, like, do you do it yourself? Cinema. This is one of the courtyards. That's nice. This is the ground floor pool. So if they pull it off, it's good. My only question is, will it be pulled off? See, Griffin, what's going on? It's been a while. How are you? All the units at Gemini have a view. No, that's absolutely not true. They changed the floor. No. Don't. That's very not true. They changed it. Yeah, they did change the floor plan. It's the only developer in this list caring about the view. Really? Disagree. I'm here from California, just listening. Welcome. Wowzers. Not dreary estate. I don't know. I'm saving this video for when I visit in September. Sorry, it's going to be long, but it will be helpful. There you go. I was looking on my own and did have a short list, but after consulting with Ryan and conducting some site visits, I had to do major revision. Yeah, guys, a lot of you guys buy from home. When you get on the ground, the experience is different because we've had people ask for specific properties, And then when we took them to other properties, they said, "Oh no, this is way better." Um, so I just want to point that out. Like I don't care what you buy or if you buy, I just want you to be informed. That is our number one job. I do have, we have preferences, but I mean, it's still up to you. Obviously, they ain't doing those details. No, some do deliver on the details, to be honest. But you just have to know what developers actually deliver on the renders. That's the whole thing. All right, hold on. These tunes aren't working for me. Wait, yeah, yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, thanks, Ryan and Eric. Caribou. Okay, where were we? Oh, Group C. We talked about Gemini. Do we need to talk about Luminar? I feel like I talked about it enough. Luminar, number one, Lower Westlands. They take the group. Group D. There's Belgravia. I'm sorry, I'm biased. I'm buying there. I like it. I feel like it's very homey, green. This is a tough group, actually. Goodness gracious. You have one at Gemini? Two? Hey. Salute, Ryan. I like this World Cup theme idea. I hope we can get pics of the brackets. Oh, yeah. I have all the assets. I could post them or something. So yeah, Group D, that's a group of death right there. Goodness gracious. All these projects are good. So that's what I want to point out again. If you're here late, just because Marina Bay is in fourth place doesn't mean it's not good. This Marina Bay is a viable option to purchase. Marina Bay is on Raptor Road. Now they're on to phase 2 and 3. Sorry, music's a little loud. Marina Bay has phase 2 and 3. When we were there, we looked at number 1. I haven't been to Marina Bay 2 or 3, but Marina Bay was good quality. That's the same developer as Mont Bleu and Marble West, and everything from them has been quality. I think if you buy from any of their projects, you won't be like, I'd give them like a 7.5 or an 8 on quality. I know some people were talking about Marina Bay 1 already looks aged. I haven't been able to confirm that, but they're pretty quality. So don't mistake this fourth place spot as like that they're not good. Don't write them off. Okay. Uh, but Belgravia and Kilauea had to take it. Brookside Oak, we always take people to Brookside Oak as for people that want high quality in the upper market. And if we show the Diplomat, if we show Luminar, if we show Hefe Palace, we always show Brookside Oak just so that you can see the Brookside area, which is significantly different, but only 5 or 7 minutes away from Upper Westlands proper area. It's expensive, but the Oaks, this is Oak Residency developer as well. You can have no doubt that the quality is going to be there, the finished quality. Like when we do videos on these guys, because we haven't done any videos on any of these guys' projects, I will have no complaints because I've seen a lot of the projects. I just haven't done the logistics of doing the video, but like actually number one for quality and developer history, you will not be disappointed with these guys on any of their projects. So they're doing Luna Oak, Crystal Oak. They've done Diamond Oak, a whole bunch of them in Kilauea. Oak West is their first Westlands one. Brookside Oak is their first Brookside one. If you don't mind the price premium, they're totally worth it, especially if you want to be in Brookside. The thing about Brookside, I feel like, is it gets less attention because less people know about it. And if you're looking for like more rental turnover, just because people don't know Brookside as much, people know Westlands more. But to be honest, if I was going to pick between Brookside and a comparable property in Westlands, I would pick Brookside personally. Hefe Palace, one of the best locations still available in the city. Obviously, you know how we feel about Diplomat. Is also in that same category. first time developer from China. They do have their building materials on site, and so we reviewed them. They're decent. My only criticism is that they don't have hold on, I'm sorry. I'm pulling up Hefe Pals. Let me pull that up for you guys. I couldn't pull them all up at the same time because then I'd have 100,000 tabs open and that would be too many. Gosh, where is it? It's very far down on the list. Hefe Palace, by the way, the name is like a Greek god or something. That's why the name is like that. And that's the theme. It has like this Greek theme to it. Here it is. So now this is very similar to the Diplomat in a way, other than their unit composition's different, but they both have a huge amount of units. And yeah, they don't have a show house, so that's why we have them on our watch list. But if you want to buy the location, it can make sense. Also, see, like this render, there's a hotel here called Kingfisher. So it's like a 10-story building that actually is right here. So that view does not look like that. Not that it's the end of the world or anything, but it's got this Greek theme going on. I like their 1-bedroom plus study for value. I also like their studies. They have units available on the front side. So if you are buying primarily for location, it makes sense. Just know they don't have a show house. They're a first-time developer from China in Kenya. They'll tell you they've done a bunch of stuff in China, but that doesn't mean that much to me. Emerald was omitted because it's sold out, basically. Diplomat was omitted because it's pretty much sold out. And we've talked about them a bunch. So that's why we have Amethyst instead. So that's to answer that question. Emerald would be probably in the final 4 or something like that, to be honest. Maybe. So Hefe Palace is very interesting. It's a wild card. It could move up when the show house is completed. Also, this is Brookside Oak. Here's some of the pictures. I like their renders. They deliver really good product. So when I'm seeing this, I actually, am more convinced versus other developers. When I see the renders, I don't care about it as much. So this is how they're justifying the price a little bit. Plus, it's in Brookside. Again, I'm pretty comfortable with these guys. Like even this trim that's advertised here, like trim is like crown molding is hard to do. Not hard, but to make it look perfect is hard to do. And I'm pretty comfortable with these guys actually pulling that off. And so when you look at this, maybe you can see why it's priced more. So I don't have a problem with higher priced things. Maybe I am getting a narrative that I'm against the more higher priced stuff. But I just think it has to be justified, and I think these guys do justify it. So here's the price. You're looking at 9 for 65. They're a bit negotiable. They're in excavation. Also Hefe Palace is in excavation, but they're also doing some of the amenity floors on the other blocks. That's their progress level. Yeah, Hefe Palace has no projects completed in Kenya, yet it is ranked ahead of Marina, a developer with a proven track record. Yeah, so we explained it a little bit. It's the location is why, generally. Ba-da-ba. Okay, so that's Group D. Sorry, Marina Bay. I think that's tough. If they were in a different group, they'd probably go ahead, but that's how we did it. Group E. This is a weird one. These are not like each other. We had Mango Tree win. I think if you're looking for like bigger, I don't have this on the website. this is in Syokimau. I think it's a great community. If you're a retiree, you don't need to live directly in Nairobi. You want to have nice views of the national park or just be in a more less busy area, but still convenience of being close enough to Nairobi for like if you want to come in on the weekends or off traffic hours or take the expressway, although it could take you a while to get the expressway if there's traffic. Really good project. Their marketing is horrible. Like they don't have renders. It's not on the website because they don't have any marketing materials. And I was gonna go do it, but I'm like, why are we paying like to go take photography of your stuff? There is a video of it. Check it out. Highly rated though. Verona. Despite them asking us to take the video down, which was pretty much positive about the project, I thought the quality was really good. They're in Muthangari Drive next to Pandora. I liked what I saw. I know someone buying there. They were sending me the videos. It looked quite good. Little suspicious that their progress is so slow. So I don't know what's up with that. But if we give them a pass on those things, I have to put them number 2 because Diamond Bay. I was at their show house launch event. They're a wild card because yes, they're on Muthiti Road. In a good spot, but I didn't like the show house at all, to be honest. And Mara Grove is comparable to Mango Tree. It's in Syokimau. I just didn't like that there's like an apartment building that's blocking the national park views, which kind of takes away the reason why you would buy there. I feel like you should just buy Mango Tree instead, especially because Mara Grove wasn't cheaper. I like the view of the national park. Yeah, Mango Tree has studio units available that are like 2 million. My only I was gonna do it just to see what happens. You guys know I like to do that, but I'm like, who's gonna stay in the Syokimau studio? But I actually think it'll be pretty good. Also, the terminus for the leg of the SGR going to Kasumu is going to go through there. So that could be a big bump to the area. I really like Mango Tree, and you can get 3-bedroom units for much cheaper than you can in Nairobi. I highly recommend that you guys looking to buy first time should consider it. I'm not saying you should buy there. I'm just saying, like, again, I'm always thinking now when we like, how can we give clients a good perspective of the market? And I do think that project and location, you should at least understand it and see it because you could totally, you could say, wow, this area is nice. I could see myself staying here. And then you could get a 3-bedroom instead of a 1 or a 2-bedroom, depending on what your use case is. Verona Westlands was launched in late 2023. We are in June 2026. Still not delivered, but ranked second. I'm lost. Yeah, we said that. I'm not going to put Diamond Bay ahead of it. Also, I think I fixed the audio in case people call in, but we'll do the call in at the end because this guy sounds like he wants to challenge everything, which is fine. Group F, the larger format properties. Luna Oak, because it's Oak residency. Also, the location's fantastic. It's in Kilimani, but again, very green section of Kilimani. Their quality is ranked number 1 as a developer. And then this is quite a bit more affordable for the square meters in 3 bedrooms. Let me pull that one up because we have them winning quite well in the group stage. Let's get to it. Luna Oak. Bam. Okay. 148 pictures. We're not doing that. And if you notice, this is kind of their style. Now, I do expect the quality of this one to be less than Brookside Oak because of their pricing. although the renders are very impressive. And actually, like, it does, some of them face Gong Hills, so that's kind of actually accurate. There's lots of private schools around this area as well. It's really a good, like, for what it is, for like a family style. I'm digging it. We haven't done our full breakdown, but see, I feel comfortable talking about it because, all right, there's too many pictures here because of the developer. Yeah, see this area, and you're close to Oyster Bay if you're into that. Let's give the price ranges here. I think a lot of the 2 bedrooms are already sold, but this is what we like for a 2 bedroom. 12M at 115 square meters is not too bad. Even the 3-bed at 14.3 to 15 mil, very good. You can see these all the way up into the 25 type range for other projects. For example, Gaia and Only You start at 25 and 28 respectively for 3 bedrooms. And so this is an interesting, cheaper alternative with a developer with a better track record anyway. So they're kind of dominating this group. Oh, see, the know-it-all guy is still saying stuff, but Jesse had to correct him. Thanks, Jesse. So that's why we like Luna Oak. Gaia in Brookside, we like the location. Honestly, it's kind of gone down in my rankings as I've been seeing more of the larger format ones. I still think they have a fantastic location. I think the developer, which is Wonder Properties, same as Diplomat and Executive Suites, got a little greedy with how close the buildings are to each other, and they hurt their own views. Like if you look at the 5-bedroom, which is 50 million, 3 of the bedrooms are facing a wall on the inside of the other block. And if I pay 50 million, I don't want to deal with that. Bahari Homes, very good location. I love their layout. They have some of the best layouts because they have like windows on both sides of most of the units. The only thing is the finish quality is a 4 or 5. And so that's going to apply to Bahari Homes, Bahari Starlit, Berkeley Residences, although Berkeley is a different developer, but they used to be together, and Berkeley Homes. That's why they're in the wild card. Also, like if it was price, like Luna Oak is cheaper than Bahari Homes, but I think Luna Oak will deliver a better product. But I don't know if you particularly like Bahari Homes location, then I could see why you would buy there, I guess. But Luna Oak, Gaia, Bahari Homes, all are interesting locations, but Gaia's location is, there's a price premium more to it. Only You. Only You is a very luxury, high-end place, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, starting 28 million, I think. I like their 3-bedroom. There's the small 3-bedroom has like a really cool corner view. We were supposed to do a video about it. I actually bought from this developer on their lower price stuff, and I take issue with some of the things because they said there was going to be a heated pool. There was not. They have water treatment issues. Bit of a shady developer. So now they want to sell you this high-end thing. I'm very skeptical. That's why they get 4th place, but they're the host nation, so they will advance to the knockout rounds. Group G, Pandora. We almost did not include Pandora just because we've talked about it so much and it's well sold, but not really. They have good availability for 3 and 4 bedrooms, but their show house makes them win. But Beacon's right behind them. I really think it's kind of a tie. If you want more square meters, you go with Beacon. Beacon's in Kilauea, Pandora's in Westlands and Muthangari. So it kind of depends your style. Pandora's more flashy. Beacon is more elegant and bigger. Then we have Venus Oak Oak by Starroot and Kilauea. They're all 4-bedroom units. I think it's priced appropriately for what they delivered, but it just doesn't knock your socks off. It's just okay as far as quality, but I do think you're getting what you pay for there. So if you're looking for a 4-bedroom that's affordable, I think you should definitely look at Venus Oak. And again, that's by Starroot. Balkis, that's on Riverside. That's a competitor with Cheval and Executive Suites and Pavo and all the other stuff going on Riverside. The reason why it gets fourth is that we looked at Atrius, and Atrius was okay, but they also did, oh man, what's the name of the one in Westlands Raptor Road that they did? It's something Valley. Goodness gracious, I can't think of it. That project was not good, and so that kind of I don't know. I'm not liking the brand. I'm not liking the developer there. I think why buy Balkis when you can do Executive Suites is why they came in fourth. Group H, Marble West, the winner. Amto View, which is in Westlands Raptor Road, Marble West, Muthiti Road. That's the same one as Marina Bay and Mont Bleu and all that. Amto View is the same developer as Morvara. Very nice price, good location, lots of open views. Again, the quality, give it a 4 or a 5. But for the price, I find it reasonable for the right buyers. So that's why they take second. They take second over the Saruni and Golden Hill, actually. And now we get into the Saruni. Let's talk about the Saruni. Okay. This place is very hyped up. It's in Riverside. I shouldn't even. I saw Kia's video, and in her video, when she was talking about real estate, they were showing the Saruni. I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm not saying no one should buy it, but 1 bedroom for 25M. So when I look at these things, when I look at these projects, I'm comparing them price, quality, developer history, location against the broader market. And if you're priced higher, that's okay if the increase in price is delivering an increase in something equivalent to the amount. So if 2 projects, for example, Diplomat and Hefe Palace. Hefe Palace is charging 1 million more for the studio, but their location's the same. The developer history is better at their competitor, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't make me feel good that they're at 6 million versus 5 million at the other place. That's better. It's not that the 6 million is necessarily bad, but how are they justifying 1 million increase? And I'm not saying don't buy there, because they have the 1 bedroom plus study at 10 million, which does make sense. Which is why this is why, guys, the World Cup thing is, we're having fun. Now, Executive Suites for a 1 bedroom, I think with all their pricing right now, you can get it like 7.2 to 7.4 million. Similar size, same size. The Saruni's 25 million. You could buy 2. You could buy 3 Executive Suites units for 1 Saruni. Is it 3 times better? Because they have a fire suppression system. I mean, like, and this is the thing, like, if we had a client that wants the American developer and, like, cares about some of those things, then sure, buy it. Like, I don't, okay. But I would say, but what about this option? You know? So when I was at the Saruni looks good, the cafe, but okay, for example, the doors have like a laminated wood finish to them. If I'm paying 25M, I should have true wood doors like Beacon does. For a one bedroom? Now, some of their trim work I think was proper. And the layout is very American style with the island and the open concept and all that. But okay, like, and the common areas were cool, and it has like an open stairwell type thing, kind of like Skynest does. But like, what am I paying for? Because it's an American? Like, sorry, bro. Like, that's not gonna cut it. And guys, and to be real, you have to be careful. Like, what's happened? Like, you have to be really careful of these people hyping you up when you have low information, because if that's the only high quality property that you see, you may think, oh, well, if I want US style or Western style quality, I have to buy something like that. It's not true. Because if the agent, see, this is why if you get wrapped up with the wrong people, if they show you Crystal Oak and then you look at the Saruni or you look at Beacon or you look at Pandora, you're going to start being like, these things don't compare properly. You can buy a 3-bedroom at Pandora or a 1-bedroom at Saruni. Make that make sense, right? Like, why? Exactly. You weren't impressed with their amenities. I thought they were like above average, but so what? Like not that much. Do you know the American developer? Are they solid? Well, the funny thing is, it's built. So I know one of the American guys was running around that was affiliated with the developer. I don't know if it's the main developer, just because I could hear his accent and him talking and telling people what to do. But I don't know them. But at this point, it's not that important because it's there. Like, you can look at it, which shows you that why would anyone, like, these developments sell out before they're completed? There's a reason why it hasn't sold out, because they're waiting for people that don't know any better to buy it with US money, basically. Like, oh, I guess this is what I should buy. Like, and this is why I get a little bothered, because I know that a lot of the people, if they were given all the information about what's in the market, would probably not actually buy that project, but they did buy it because that's what they were shown. And so people are making money off of it at that high commission because there's a big incentive to get that US money, the Western money. Wow, the Saruni. Sorry, I'm all for the Americans. It just doesn't, I don't get it. But I don't know, like, there are people that would perceive the value to be like that. I just don't. And like, say you see the whole market and say, I want to buy the Serenia, I'm like, okay, cool. But I don't think that's what's happening. Yeah, the pool's super small. It's just there for show. Yes, they have lots of vacancy because they're insane with the pricing. Lovely jersey, Ryan, and I'm actually excited to see how USA performs. If we lose the, and it's so funny because my friend and his wife are in Bosnia right now, so they're watching the games. But thank you, I appreciate it. I didn't design it, but I gave the inspiration for the design and picked it once they gave us some choices. Okay, so that's my Saruni talk. What do you guys think? Um, I'm not I'm not against these high-end projects, but like they gotta make sense, guys. Like, really? Let me get some vibes going. My mouth hurts from talking, and we're not even. We got two more groups, and then we got the knockout stage. How's it going for you guys? Are you guys having fun? Are we having a good convo? Is this helpful? Dang, we're hour 40 in. Hey, typical Western mentality, inflated housing prices as a religion. I really think they're taken advantage of because they don't know what's going on. Got it. It's still being pushed in the U.S. because an investor friend of mine asked me about it. Actually said, thank you. Well, we don't have Saruni on our site, but see, the real estate market is not a perfect market, and meaning that not everyone has all the information. Like the stock market is a perfect market where everyone has all the information generally, and the pricing is in real time. Like if something is $40 a share, it's $40 a share. It's not $30 a share if you know a guy that knows a guy. Now in Kenya, if you know a guy that knows a guy, you may have access to different things than someone that doesn't. And so if you're not aware of the whole market, you can easily overpay for things. Case in point, when I went to Riru to look at those townhouses, I'm sorry, I can't do the Swahili R, guys. I'm sorry. Riru. We looked at other townhouses that were priced more and they were much worse. But they still sell. You know why? Because agents only take them to the worst place and they don't have context to know the difference. So I harp on all this stuff and I get a little mad about it because I do think that it's unethical and misleading what people are doing. It's like if all you see is the Saruni and you have the Saruni budget, you may say, hey, I want to buy a place. But you could have bought 3 executive suites units for that same thing, and I think you would have been better off doing so. Or, uh, Brookside Oak or something where I don't know, you're just going to get more for your money. But also, that's what happens when you don't work with El Masi Realty. Okay. Group I. Berkeley Homes, this is the Kilauea one. Bahari Starlet, number 2. They just launched their show house last week. Woodley Village, 300 Woodley Village. Very interesting project. Belgravia is low density. I think Luna Oak is pretty low density. Gaia, Bahari Homes, Only You, all low density. Pandora, kind of. Beacon, Venus Oak. Those are all low density. Hey. Okay. Anyway, back to Group I. Woodley Village takes the wild card, and Astra Bay, which I was excited about when it was announced, as the markets matured, they're taking an L. And a couple times when I had some extra money, I was like, should I just buy a unit there 100%? Just to, just information, add some assets. I fought the urge. I have that same urge with Woodley Village, but I have some concerns. All right, so let's talk about this group. This group is very well matched. These are all affordable units. Now, Woodley Village and Astra Bay are much more affordable, but these Berkeley Homes and Bahari Starlet, which are basically across the street from each other, are very comparable. Berkeley Homes is on Olatoktok Road, the main road going through Kilauea to Westlands. Very good, and it's elevated there. Really good location. Very affordable pricing. Not that much availability with the studios, but they start in the $4 million range. I think the quality again will be a 4 or a 5. But for the pricing, I think you're getting what you're paying for. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not mad. Like if the quality is not good, but the price is lower, I'm not mad at it. Like sometimes we go to Walmart and we buy stuff that's cheap and we know it's cheap. That's fine. As long as it serves the purpose and you know that's our goal. Bahari Starlet is basically the same thing. And these developers used to work with each other. And so I kind of look at them as almost the same. Their pricing is very similar. The Bahari people have more of a track record because they did Bahari homes. I haven't seen the show house personally. I only have the images from when they did the event. But if you're looking for a lower cost place in the upmarket, Kilimani, Kilauea, etc., I think it's a very viable purchase. Do your due diligence though. We're still looking at Bahari Starlet, and we still want to see show houses from Berkeley Homes. Now, 300 Woodley Village is the public-private partnership in Woodley Estate. It's basically Kilimani though, on the other side of Gong Road. You can buy a studio there. It's only 25 square meters, so the price per square meter actually isn't that cheap. For only 2.5 million Kenyan shillings, around 19,000 US dollars currently. That makes it interesting. You can get a 3-bedroom at 6.5 million Kenyan shillings. You can also get any floor that you want with the same pricing. My only issue is that, gosh, I asked a lot of questions and they didn't have good answers with all the questions that I was asking. The developer only has done like commercial and smaller stuff. So my confidence in their ability to deliver is low. They're a Kenyan developer, and I hate to rank the Kenyan developers that way, but the reality of the matter is a little questionable. That's a lot of units that they're building over there, and that's a huge project. Are they up to the task? The professionalism, like them not having the answers, them having renders that aren't no longer part of the development and stuff, all of that makes me very nervous. And therefore, if you want to play around with something, check them out. You know, it's not a big amount of money, so if you're a risk taker, and also it's an opportunity to do like a rental that's in the local market, because some people will say, well, all this whole market caters to investors or foreign visitors and expats and all that kind of stuff. Well, this project definitely is priced for more of the local market. Same thing with Astor Bay. Same thing with Mango Tree and Mara Grove as well. There's plenty of people that stay in Siokimau, where Mango Tree and Mara Grove are, and then they commute into the city because it's more affordable. It's a good suburb because of the expressway. So that's how Group I shakes out. I wonder if Woodley Village can compete in the next round as a wild card. We'll have to see. Woo! I need another energy drink. Group J, Oak West by Oak Residency. That's right by Luminara. Their quality is just really good, very well sold, so hard to get a good unit there right now. Berkeley Residences, really great pricing for the location. Oh, look, the much awaited Shovel, which we haven't done a full analysis because I got to go to Grosvenor and check it out. I'm not hearing good things from Grosvenor, and I didn't like the images. Here's my thing about Shovel. The way they've been doing the launch and how they've been behaving with Grosvenor and stuff has made me a little nervous. Just gives me a weird feeling. Sorry, guys, that's part of the analysis. They want 10 million for a 1-bedroom. When, again, in the Riverside market, executive suites, you could get around 7.2 to 7.4. What are you getting for the money? The shape that it's round? the amenities, like I'm not convinced. I'm willing to be convinced. I think it looks cool. If you want to pay for a building, it may stand out. I just don't know on their ability to deliver is the big question mark. If I could be convinced that the quality will be worth 3 million more, then I may change my mind. But right now, they're a wild card. And then Libra is associated with the Only You people. This is their lower quality development. I bought Leo residences from them, so I'm quite familiar with their products. Again, a bit of a shady developer, makes claims that are not followed through on. I would stay away, and the quality wasn't good, and the management's pretty horrible. Which, when I sort out a lot of things, we're gonna deal with their management from the building that I purchased from. Have to lead a crusade and resolve that situation at some point. So they do not make it. Woo! That's the group stage, guys. Thoughts? I know we had one critic. That's okay. We can't be perfect. We can't all always agree. What this is all like, can we change the we got to change the vibe with the music. I got to take a little bit of a break. My goodness, I'm tired of talking. Coco by Hoskett Soul is another one, 8.5 for a 1-bedroom, because it does have a really good location. Honestly, because Brookside Oak is around that price. As much as I take issue with Hoskett Soul, that's not that crazy. But in my opinion, it is higher, but I actually, I'm not that mad at them for that. Let's do some Afro. So my whole life I've been paying for this. I've been paying for Epidemic Sound, which is like copywritten music that you can use. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, I'm trying to get my vibes up, and I never used it, and then I realized I should be using it. Okay. I hope you guys are having a nice Sunday. DJ Ryan. I hope you're not mad at the World Cup layout, because we're about to get into the knockout rounds. It's about to get controversial because we're about to put properties that don't belong against each other. But thanks for spending your time with me on this lovely Sunday. I'm going to try to do a live for members only after this when I get home. So like 20 minutes after, 30 minutes after, we'll be doing another members only live if you guys want to hang out for a little bit. I won't be on too long, but I will be on there. I almost bought Grosvenor a while back before they broke ground. They were an absolute pain to deal with. Guys, that's a big factor. Like, how these developers move changes things. And if you see me change my opinion about some of these guys, sometimes it's because they're moving mad, as they say in the UK. And then if they're moving like that, how do you think they're going to do the rest of their business? Oh, you can't hear it? You don't hear the music this whole time? Can you hear the music? Let me know if you can. I think I hear it. I don't know. Oh. So I just been in my headphones, I'm hearing music, guys. I'm sorry. I thought you guys were hearing it as well. This whole time, you haven't been hearing it. What a struggle streamer. Gosh. Okay. It's got those living room kitchens that span from one corner to the other. Yeah, it's weird. What's up with that? It doesn't make any sense. It's just like a whole wall is the kitchen cabinets. What about Amani? I don't know that one. You guys really don't hear music? Wow, this whole time we haven't been hearing music? What a loser. I got tunes in my ear. I thought y'all was vibing out with me. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here sounding creepy. Oh. What the heck? Dang. All right, guys, let's move on. You only hear my radio voice, but my radio voice must sound ridiculous without the music. Oh, what a fail. I think I solved the problem of the feedback, but now you can't hear the music when I play it. Hold on. I can't do this without the music. I'm going to download the music. I'm going to upload it in here. Because we need some vibes, you know? I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of just hearing me. Y'all not tired of just hearing me? My goodness. See, that's what I was giving a radio voice to that. Can you hear it now? Hey. Okay, now I have the radio voice. Okay. Is everything working properly now? We're having vibes, okay? Okay. I'm ready to do round one. Are you guys ready? Hey, if you're finding value, you can always do like a super chat. I always appreciate it. Lets me know I'm doing a good job. I put a lot of prep into this. You hear it now? Okay. All right, cool. Gosh, I was playing music this whole time. I was trying to emphasize certain music, and you mean to tell me this whole time it was not going through? That's, oh, gosh. Wait, so then I gotta play. You guys didn't hear my World Cup? You guys didn't even hear my World Cup track. Why are they doing this to me? Hold on, let me download these tracks. I gotta upload these tracks first. Dang. What do you? How's this going for you guys so far? Everything good? Said I was wondering why you were dancing. You just thought I was. That's terrible. Here's my sports. Hey, let's get ready for round one. Hey. Hey. It's the World Cup. Hey. Nairobi off plan, World Cup. Who's gonna win? And here's the state. Oh, I gotta take me off the screen completely. Wait, hold on. How do I do this? I just have to move me over somewhere. Hold on. Here is the chart. Woo! Let's go. Okay. I have to move me out of the middle of the screen. I'm sorry. I prepped everything, but I didn't prep this properly. So let me fix it. Okay, put me in the middle. All right, what's going on, guys? Wait, let's make me a little bigger, you know? I need some air time. Okay, here I am. Wait, bigger. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. We're here. We're finished the group stage. These are everyone who advanced. Welcome. All right. So we have Only You versus Amethyst. We have Beacon versus Gaia. I know the colors changed because ChatGPT just fights with me. Diamond Bay, Marble West. Hefe Palace versus Berkeley Homes. That's going to be a tough one. Yikes. Gaia versus Beacon. Oh, heavyweights. Amethyst versus Only You. Saruni and Mango Tree. What a weird matchup. That's what I'm saying. Like, these are not comparable properties. So we're having fun, guys. We're not, making it doesn't this doesn't mean that you shouldn't consider the other options. Morvara versus Mont Bleu, that's interesting. Woodley Village versus Belgravia, that's another interesting matchup. Berkeley Residences versus Gemini, and I know that the bracket there is a little messed up. It's all right. Luna Oak versus Venus Oak. These are not the same developer, even though Luna Oak names all their things oaks. Galaxy One versus Ivy Park. That's Kilimani versus Raptor Road Westlands. Cheval versus Luminara. Oof. That's tough. Luminara is like France, So they're going to be tough to beat. But we'll see if someone can take them down. Bahari Starlit versus Brookside Oak. Way different concepts here. One is a value play. The other is a high-end play, high-end location, high-end quality. So we'll have to see what happens there. Pandora versus Bahari Homes, very different. Again, Pandora is like Germany or something. They're going to be tough to beat as well. Executive Suites Oak West. Wow, what a bad matchup there because both of these guys are really good teams. Acacia versus Luck and Ivy. Verona and Amto View. So, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Hold on, we need some new music. Hey. Okay, there we go. Let's set the vibes for the World Cup. All right. Who's playing today? I'm missing games and stuff. I've been having a good time watching the World Cup, by the way. And people have been saying interesting things about the U.S., which is cool. All right, so let's go and see the results. Wait, we need a sound. We need a. Okay. Here are the first results of the round of 32. Oh, there's lyrics to this. Okay. Only You versus Amethyst. Oh, Amethyst wins 4-0 because Only You, shady developer. Sorry. Out of here. They couldn't even score any goals. Beacon versus Gaia. Very close. But because Gaia was greedy, they scored some goals, 2 goals, but the blocks are too close to each other, and Beacon's quality is superior, and we haven't seen Gaia's show house yet. Beacon has to go through with a narrow lead, but I wonder how the score would have been when Gaia's show house is complete. Maybe Beacon scores even more goals. Diamond Bay versus Marble West. Diamond Bay didn't have a chance. Marble West is superior in every way. They're on the same street. Why would you buy Diamond Bay when you could buy Marble West? There is literally no reason to buy Diamond Bay when Marble West or Mont Bleu exists, to be honest. Hefe Palace versus Berkeley Homes. A draw. Wow. But Hefe has to win in penalties because of the location. Berkeley Homes, very affordable project. Hefe Palace, though, the 1-bed plus study at $10 million, very competitive in the Westlands market. Berkeley Homes, on the other end, is low-priced in Kilauea. The Saruni versus Mango Tree. The Saruni scored 2 goals because the quality is good, but it's not enough to overcome all the benefits of Mango Tree, the pricing, the interesting Siokyu Mall market, the National Park view. They score a lot of points. That's why they got 4 goals. Morvara and Mont Bleu, both very close to each other. Very competitive. Mont Bleu wins on penalties because of the developer history, the quality, perceived quality, because I think Morvara probably will be a little bit worse. But Mont Bleu's a little bit more expensive. That's why they're pretty comparable. That's why we just win in penalties. They're both scoring some goals. Woodley Village, the very, very affordable public-private partnership in Woodley Estate near Kilimani against Belgravia Place. Oh, you know, we're biased with Belgravia, Kileleshwa. We believe in the developer a lot. All the green concept, the layout, the amenities. Woodley Village scores a goal because it's interesting, but Belgravia takes away easily. Berkeley Residences, this is the Berkeley one in Westlands Raptor Road against Gemini. Gemini is high price, high value in the Brookside area versus kind of a more discount guy. Very close fight there, but Gemini is going to have to take it because if you get the right unit at Gemini, I think you're going to be pretty happy. Still a couple questions about, is it going to deliver at the end on what their promises are, and it needs to be luxury for it to work because the prices are high. But they're gonna skirt it out right now and win their matchup. Is this fun, guys? Are you having fun? I hope so. I'm having a little bit of fun. I'm tired. It's a little warm in here. I need to put the AC on. What's up with y'all in Europe not having AC, and now there's a heat wave and everyone's hot? Even in the hospital, they don't have AC. All them old people. That's terrible. They say it's destroying the environment or something. Well, see, now you're hot. Anyway, but shout out, like, it's not good because people are like, especially the elderly, it's very dangerous. On a serious note. Luna Oak, Venus Oak, sorry. Luna Oak wins on everything. They take it away 2-0, as they say. Venus Oak, Venus Oak only has 4 bedrooms. Luna Oak kind of covers a similar type of territory, but we like the location there, and the developer history is just really good. Galaxy 1 against Ivy Park. How the heck did Galaxy 1 score 2 goals? I'm not sure, but sometimes we get weird results at the World Cup. Galaxy 1 has a cool location on Raptor Road, but it's their first time developing. But, you know, sometimes the score line just gets weird. So we have Ivy Park, which is in Kilimani. The Ivy Group, very reliable, really good location. Unfortunately, they're blocking the view from the development that I bought recently, but it's not blocking my unit, so it's okay. But they move on. Cheval versus Luminara. Cheval scored some goals because it does look cool. The renders are cool. If they pull it off, I think maybe next year they could score a lot more goals. They could be competitive. But right now, it's a questionable team. And Luminara, yes, it's technically their first development, but they were working with Wonder Properties. It scores a lot of goals. We love that developer. And their show house is coming up in September. That is make or break. Oh Lord, if it doesn't deliver, I'm going to look real bad. So guys, please come through and deliver on the project, because the stakes are a bit high because I'm usually quite skeptical. They've made me a believer, and if I have to go and say it didn't deliver, oh man, it's going to hurt. But my integrity promise to you guys is, if it doesn't deliver, I will have to say so. But I believe that it will be good. And so they're a shining star right now. Team with a lot of potential. 5 goals to 2 against Cheval. Bahari Starlet, Brookside Oak. Weird matchup because Brookside Oak is a high-end play and Bahari Starlet is a value play in Kileleshwa versus Brookside. These are not comparable properties, but for the purchase purpose, the reason why you would buy them, they are competitive against one another, and that's why Brookside Oak skirts out a win here in penalties, because the quality of this developer is just the level of confidence. Like if you're scared of buying in Nairobi, you should buy from the Oaks. Like if your number one thing is like not getting what you're paying for, buy from them because you will not be disappointed. Next up, Pandora versus Bahari Homes. Pandora shuts them out, just routes them like Senegal did to Iraq the other day. Bahari Homes actually isn't that bad, but their pricing is bad. And that if their pricing was better, they could even beat Pandora. But I think they're mispriced. They're too high for their finished quality, even though I like their layouts. So Pandora smokes them. Sorry, guys. Lower the price, and then we can reevaluate this. But they won't do that because they'll still sell because, again, the information in the market, I don't see what people see there. It's just not competitive because of the price. It doesn't make it a bad project. The quality is just average, though. But, I mean, if you don't care about that, it's still a good project. Like the layout, the size, and everything, I like it. So if you could get over the quality, not so bad. Executive Suites versus Oak West. That's a tough bracket to be so early. So one of them has to go. Executive Suites barely gets by. That's a controversial decision there. Because now looking at it, I'm like, oh, wait. Yeah. Wait, this is messed up. I got to check that because Oak West is actually supposed to win there, but I put Executive Suites. I knew something was wrong. Sorry, guys. ChatGPT got unruly. Scratch that. That's okay. One error in this whole thing so far isn't too bad. Oak West, I think, is supposed to get through. So we're going to see in the next image what happens here. Now we have Acacia versus Luck and Ivy. Luck and Ivy has to win because Acacia's launch has been weird. Luck and Ivy's quality is pretty consistent. It's the Ivy Group, same thing as Ivy Park. It's in Westlands with ET Road. And it's a good project. Very well sold, though. But like the coffee shop and the co-working space and stuff like that looks really good. They do use a lot of shiny tiles, so if you're not into that, could be a problem. Also, don't like how you enter the project and exit. It could cause a traffic issue because that road is not that big. That's why we like Luminara's internal loop. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. We like Luminara's internal loop a little bit better, but you can never go wrong with Ivy Group, whether it's Ivy Park or Luck and Ivy. Verona versus Ampto View. Verona has some question marks on their progress speed. That's why they didn't score any points. And they told us to take the video down, and they're being weird overall. So, and the video is positive again. So, and then they got ghostly when I tried to communicate with them. And that, see, our personal bias isn't even the thing that goes against them, although it does go against them. It's really that, like, this project's been going for a long time, and Pandora's probably going to complete before them. And they're like way later, Pandora. So Ampto View is on Raptor Road, a family style hybrid type of purchase, kind of mid-grade quality, but good pricing, good location, good views. So it makes it. Okay. Let's check Executive Suites and who goes through into the next round. Guys, guess what? Wait, there's an error here. Oh no, we have Executive Suites going through. Is this right? Oh no, did I mess up something? Wait, it goes from here to here. Okay. I think we're still good. All right. Are we good? Oh yeah, okay, cool. Sorry guys. All right, next round. Wait, where's the comments? Nairobi off-plan World Cup live. I just know it's gonna come down to Pandora versus Belgravia in the final. Belgravia for the win. Belgravia is a must for the quarterfinals. I support it. We'll see. Will they get disappointed? I don't know. So Amethyst and Beacon, they draw. Amethyst wins on the shootout because Beacon, incredible quality from them guys. Um, but Amethyst, the GY group, the renders look so accurate to Emerald Springs, and Amethyst looks so cool in the renders. Again, caveat: they're having an issue getting there's a lawsuit going on. They can't build right now. They just had the court date on Friday. I don't have the answers yet. They're on standby. We're kind of ignoring that part just because we're analyzing the particular project for fun. If you're thinking about buying there, talk to us. We're going to get the results on Monday and see what's going on, if they're able to break ground or whatever, because your money could get tied up. None of this is that developer's fault, so you can't knock the developer for this issue because of the way anyone could sue these developers. So this can happen. It shouldn't be a bad mark on them. So that's how Amethyst makes it through. Marble West versus Hefe Palace. Great location. Low track record for Hefe Palace. How will they match up against Marble West? Well, they scored a goal, but Marble West's track record has to come through and defeat Hefe Palace, despite Hefe Palace having a markedly better location on Ring Road there. Hefe Palace is always going to be a tough competitor because of their location. Mango Tree versus Mont Blue. Weird game, weird matchup. These teams have never seen each other. One's in Siokimau. Mont Blue is the sister project of Marble West. And, you know, it just went down to penalties. And we think that, you know, sometimes these teams that are from different areas can win. And so Mango Tree won. And they should be considered in a quarterfinals. Really, they should always be in the tournament when you're looking at buying properties in Kenya, because it's an interesting project that not a lot of people are going to take you to because it's further away and it's a little bit cheaper. But for the right people, I think it's a fantastic project. And that's why they're through into the quarterfinals. The problem is they're going up against Belgravia, who wins 3-1 against Gemini. That's a tough match, but Belgravia does win because, you know, the developer, we just really believe in them. They have so much potential, and they're showing their potential in the game against Gemini. You know, though, again, we have to be cautious. They have to deliver on their potential in September. But for now, we're giving them the juice. We're giving them the points. And Gemini is not a bad project at all. Gemini, we're still questionable about as well. And that's why Belgravia was able to come through, because both of these guys were not sure how they're going to deliver 100%. And my confidence is more with Belgravia and their amenity package and everything, and the vibe. It's hard to explain. It's just a more artistic development, not taking anything away from Gemini, because Gemini also has a great amenity package. Just prefer Belgravia in this particular matchup today. On a different day, maybe the score is different. I don't know. On the other side of the bracket, Luna Oak versus Ivy Park. Kilimani battle, larger format versus the more hotel. Oh, Ivy Park has 3 bedrooms as well. These properties are a 2-minute drive from each other. The Ivy group is quite reliable on their quality. Oak Residency, Luna Oak, super highly reputable, and they win in penalties because of that. Also because they have affordable 3-bedroom units from a quality developer. If you're thinking about 3-bedroom units or more, you have to consider Luna Oak in any market. It's supposed to be a little bit more affordable than some of the other ones, but it's weird that it's affordable considering the fact that these guys are I have the least issues with their finish quality. So that's where we're landing with them. Hold on, let me bring up my comments. You aren't the first person I've seen say that. All of these amenities. The thing with the amenities is everybody's doing mostly the same thing. So they're kind of blending together. It's Belgravia versus Luminar. Wouldn't that be crazy if that happens? That's ridiculous. Where is Diplomat? Diplomat is not on here because it's pretty much sold. And we've talked about it too much. We have to retire them. I guess I need to make these lists downloadable for you guys. I'll post it as a community post on the YouTube channel. How much did the developer pay you to win the game? No developers paid us anything to win the World Cup. There was no referee tampering. There was no insider trading. There was no betting. There was no couchy. There was nothing to pay for the results. Where were we? Luminara, Brookside Oak. Woof. That's a tough match because Brookside Oak is such a good competitor. But that Luminara bias, goodness gracious. For the price, because Luminara is cheaper, but in not as good location, these guys are so like equal in consideration. But Luminara just they won in penalties. They kept their anxiety low. They finished their penalties, and they were able to slightly defeat Brookside Oak. But Brookside Oak played a wonderful game, and you know they're a good competitor every year. Okay. All these amenity packages are just pie in the sky stuff. How many of these developers have a history of maintaining the properties? I agree. I don't think it's pie in the sky. You always take it too far, because some of them are pretty good. How many of these developers have a history? I think maintenance is a big issue for everybody. Yes. So Pandora versus Executive Suites. What a tough matchup this one is, because Executive Suites is very well priced for Riverside. It has the early launch pricing, although I think that's probably gone now because they just did the groundbreaking 2 weeks ago. Pandora only has 3 bedrooms available. The 2 bedrooms, if their 2 bedrooms were available, they'd win like 7-0, because the people that bought the 2 bedrooms early have made a lot of money in capital appreciation. I'll tell you that, because then things got snapped up so fast. The 3 and 4 bedrooms are moving a little bit slower. That's why Executive Suites was able to score 2 goals against them. But Pandora still ekes it out as the big dog. You know, the location, we had a whole conversation about that last week. I thought that was very productive. And then in this is a weird group down here. Luck and Ivy versus Amto. Amto's quality just wasn't enough to score any points against Luck and Ivy, which has a better track record. Good location. It's right next to Luminara. Not right next to, it's a couple blocks down. Not the best location. Amto View, very formidable. They made it to the round of 16. Should be a consideration for hybrid buyers, personal buyers, or long-term unfurnished investors. Luck and Ivy could fit into those categories as well, although that part of Westlands may be a more hotel style, more turnover is available there. And so this is our quarterfinals. We have Amethyst versus Marble West. Mango Tree versus Belgravia. What a weird matchup that is. Luna Oak, Luminara, Pandora, Luck and Ivy. Pandora is not sold out for the 3 bedrooms. Promising amenities that will close. I've never seen an amenity close, brother, not be maintained after 2 years. I've never seen them not totally maintained. Will make people realize the game. Imagine being promised a pool shop or restaurant, and then they're closed. Yeah, but can you cite where that's happened? Pandora must be sold out. No. Three beds still. Why is this guy so negative all the time, bro? Can you tell me something you like? Three beds still available in Pandora. They want 22,000. They are a little bit more price per square meter, but that is why they haven't sold, because it is a bit steep. The two bedrooms went right away. So, how are we feeling about the bracket, guys? We've come a long way. We're at the final four. Oh wait, final eight? Is that it? Final eight. I can't count. How are we feeling about the matchups? What's your thoughts? Are we having fun? I'm having fun. I'm tired though. I'm tired of talking. Pause. I was going to say my mouth hurts. Pause. I need another energy drink. Again, in the intermission, don't take it so seriously. We're having fun. We're making fun comparisons between the properties. It's not the end all be all for everything. Some have show houses, some don't. Some are sold a lot, some are not. And so we're having fun. I'm trying to give some context. The really important thing that we're doing, when you consult with me or work with Almasi Realty, all these things that we're talking about is how we want to have conversations and expose you to the market. I'm not here to convince you on what to buy. I have opinions, but our role is to show you the market and let you decide, because you're a smart individual that knows what you want in life, and we just want you to have the options so that you can properly pick. Because like I was saying with the Cerrone situation, people are not being exposed to all the options, and I think that's how you land at buying certain things and then regretting it later. This also happens on the lower end, where people are buying projects that are not that reputable or just they're underwhelming. Even my first project was kind of like, if you're in members, you'll be able to see it. I guess this is a good intermission to talk about Almasi Insider again real quick. So for anyone on the Inner Circle membership on YouTube, we are giving you beta access to Almasi Insider, which is our new, wrong button here, which is our new paywall access to, gosh, hold on, let me fix this. No. Oh, yeah. So this is our new reporting system that does a full analysis on different projects. And if you're a member on the Inner Circle, you get free access to this as long as you're an Inner Circle member. We're going to have pricing for this if you just want to sign up for this individually and get the different property reports. I'll show you. See, here's the Belgravia one. I'm not going to go over it again as much in detail, but we try to really help you sort out the information and figure out what makes sense for you. We've been doing the reports on our favorite properties so far, but we talk about who it's for, who it's not for, the different ratings depending on what your buying purpose is. We give it a scorecard about the location, what the buying purpose is, our perceived finish quality, developer history. You see, we can't give them too high a rating for Belgravia because we don't know yet. We've done some comp analysis. We do try to give you guys some numbers to think about return on investment depending on your strategy per unit. We even went and grabbed some comps. So this is their nightly range from this comp. A lot of work goes into this. So this is something that people can pay for to utilize the website. We're also, the more sophisticated we get with data as we have more clients and better relations with developers, We'll be able to have reports kind of like the Hosketsall report and things like that over time. But you're going to get access basically to all the analysis so that if you're not talking to me directly or something like that, you can really do your own research and have something that's going to show you the consider at least the considerations and what our perception of those considerations should be when you're buying a property, because you may not know all of the things to look out for. See, this is for Belgravia, we reviewed the NEMA. Um, they are missing the NCA approval, so we put that. We're waiting on that. We looked at the KRA pin, a lot of their documents. So this is a very comprehensive report. Talk about the location, what block A faces this way, block B is that way. Here's our thoughts on if it will be blocked. What's the risks? Um, you know, developer completion risk. They don't have the NCA approval. And these reports do get updated over time. What can make the thesis fail? Why would this be what could make what we're projecting wrong? These are the type of reports. So anyone in the YouTube membership under the inner circle gets access to this as beta. I want the feedback from you guys so you can tell me what you like, what you don't like, so we can make a really good product for everyone that's worth what we would be charging for it. Definitely still in beta. We just have the 3 reports, but I've been over time adding more reports in here. Eventually, all these projects that we fully analyze and cover will be in here. You'll be able to see all the reports, and we'll have rankings. For example, like if you're buying a hotel investment style project, why look at 10 properties when there's a top 3 when they're very comparable, right? This helps you put things in order so that you can make the best decision possible. If the market is all fragmented and you're not sure, how to compare the properties, this helps organize things for you. And so that'll be launching in the next 1 to 2 to maybe 3 months, depending on how much I can get done. I'm working on stuff, obviously, while I'm not in country like this, so that we can keep adding value to everybody. So that is Almasi Insider, that you're going to have your own login. You'll be able to log in and see everything in here. I'm still working on the formatting and all that, so please give me your feedback there. Let me check the comments. How much is the resale on Pandora? I'd have to check with them and thanks for being a member, by the way, signing up today. We'd have to check with them and see who's doing resales. I'm sure it's going to be a crazy price. Belgravia final. I was thinking of swapping my 3-bed townhome with Pandora, but my tenant has extended their lease. Yeah, doing the logistics for that is kind of tough. And you have a townhouse? Townhouse, nice. I like the Diplomat. I like Pandora, but they need to expand the single-lane road. In New York City, they got single-lane roads that service big buildings as well. I don't get it. And they're not going to. Does Almasi help find tenants? We are not doing property management yet. I do have some agents I can refer you to sign an open mandate, which is what I would recommend that you do. And sign a bunch of different agents, and you pay a commission to whoever brings the tenant. What do you think about the fire prevention and water filtration? Have you seen it factored in these projects? This is why we like Luminara Belgravia, because they do those kind of things. Last time I spoke to them, they were doing something with like the water pumping in the basement just in case of flooding. So these are things that should be factored in, but are commonly not talked about. It is something that we should cover more. You've done extensive work on these projects. We have to, yeah, man, it's a lot of work to gather all the information. And actually, this question is good because I don't have a full grasp of everyone's water filtration system or the existence of it and how in-depth it is, because sometimes they're vague about it, which is something that we need to add into our analysis. But thank you. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks for the intermission, guys. I'm recharged. So, what's the bracket looking like? The last 8 quarterfinals. Amethyst, Marble West. How did Marble West make it? We don't even talk about Marble West that much, and they made it. Mango Tree, Belgravia. Again, Mango Tree. We don't talk about it much against the heavyweight in Belgravia right now. Pandora, Luck and Ivy. We almost never, we don't even have, do we have a video on Luck and Ivy? I don't think so. Do we? I don't think so. To be honest, I don't think we did a video on Luck and Ivy because of the name. Because when we actually went there, I liked it. But then it was too late because it's pretty well sold. Luminara versus Oak West. Can we get the comments up here? Not really. Okay. Let's move on. Ooh. Quarterfinal results. Wow, what a surprise though. Amethyst, despite their issues with being able to break ground, are into the semifinals. Wow. 2-0 against Marble West. Why? Because Amethyst, they both deliver, to be honest. Amethyst just looks cool. Priced pretty good, a little high for Kilimani. Interestingly enough, because of their building issues, I don't think anyone else is going to try to build by Dennis Pritt. So I don't think they'll be blocked because of all the hell they're going through trying to even get this approved, which is an interesting consideration. Belgravia, Mango Tree. Oh man, Mango Tree didn't have much of a chance, even though I like Mango Tree. I would consider, sometimes I get into a feeling where I feel like I should get something over there because, you know, I just want to be in that side of the market. Like, oh, well, they're not going, like, once you buy something facing the national park, that view cannot really be recreated, which makes those units in particular very attractive. And so, yes, they only scored 1 goal against Belgravia, but I think they just underperformed in that matchup because Mango Tree is a very formidable project that everyone should be aware of and look at, despite the lack of marketing, which is very annoying because they don't even have, they have show houses, but they don't even have professional photos of it. They don't have good renders. They're like, oh, come in and we'll explain the project to you. Like, what? Don't you want to sell to people? Like, what's going on there? So we're going to have Amethyst versus Belgravia. Who would have known that they would have matched up? Amethyst has defeated a lot of contenders. Look, well, they didn't defeat Hefe Palace, but Hefe Palace, good location, didn't make it in. And then the other side of the bracket, Luna Oak just traveling through, but they couldn't beat Luminara, but they only lost on penalties. Man, that could have gone either way, to be honest. Luna Oak, for their offering, for the right people, is everyone looking at 3 bedrooms should look at Luna Oak. It should be mandatory. Whether they buy it or not is fine, but it is a competitor in their market so strongly. But Luminara also, if you're looking for Westland's investment property, you have to look at Luminara. And honestly, it's a bit of a controversial win because if I go to developer history, Luna Oak has to win by a lot. But the belief in Luminara's potential is carrying them through. Goodness gracious, if that show house don't deliver what it's supposed to deliver, it's going to be bad. It really is. And then finally, I don't know how Luck and Ivy made it here, to be honest. It's just how the brackets worked out because what? Luck and Ivy is a good project, but to make it to the quarterfinal and almost defeating Pandora, because Pandora is very expensive. But the thing is, I'm rating Pandora as it was when the 2 bedrooms were available. If I was rating them with just the 3 bedrooms and their price, I don't think they would have made it this far. So I'm imagining that, in this matchup at the time, you could buy a 2 bedroom at Pandora, which makes it super competitive. So what do you guys think? I'm surprised Marble West and Lucky and Ivy. I'm surprised too. See, this is the thing, guys. It kind of randomized the groups were made in a certain way to be similar to each other, but after the group stage, it randomized the knockout rounds. I did not put my hands in that. The AI did that. So it's just like the World Cup. Like some of the matchup, if you play France in the first round and you're Germany, well, one of them's got to get knocked out, right? So that's how we did it. Again, we're having fun. It's not the end all be all. Don't use this as like a heavy research tool. But the cool thing about this is you should be aware of these projects in the market depending on what category of a buyer you are. This is 40 projects. If you come to Kenya, they will not, the agents are gonna not expose you to 40 projects. Of course they can't. I can't bring you to all 40 of them, but I want you to be aware, and we have a consultation and we sit down and we go through this type of thing so that we hit your category. Are you a hybrid buyer that wants to stay there sometimes, rent it out sometimes? Are you a straight up investor, want the best return on investment? Are you a high-end investor where you want quality stuff so you're willing to pay more, but maybe the rent is a little bit more and you're more comfortable with quality? Are you a value investor that wants to buy stuff with a cheap entry price? Are you buying there to stay? Are you a single person? Are you a small couple? Are you a city boy trying to live in a city like Kai and be at all the best restaurants all the time? Are you more like me that kind of likes to be a little out of the mix and I don't go out as much? Do you have a large family? Do you plan to have a large family? Are you a digital nomad? Do you need the amenities of the city? Maybe Sioki Mall is better for you. What's your risk tolerance? Because Hefe Palace has a higher risk because their developer track record is missing. But if you value the location, then you should consider it. And this is how we do our consultations. We want you to know the information so that you can make the best choice possible. I really don't want to influence your choices other than so far as to make sure that you have the proper information and are thinking about it in the right way. I could tell Amethyst is a tough one with Belgravia. It is. Ooh, gosh. I definitely need to look into Luna Oak for a more personal purchase. That wasn't on my radar. Yeah, their pricing is good and the quality is good and the location is good. Like for a personal purchase for 2, 3, maybe 4 bedrooms, it must be considered. If you want to go higher end, you could go Crystal Oak, actually. Although that's well sold. That's why I didn't include that one. But yeah. It's not on a lot of radars. That developer, they have a good track record with, I guess, their past clients and stuff. They do market, but they're not that heavy exposed, I don't think. City Boy Kai. Kai be out there. All right. The semifinals. I've never heard of Mango Tree. They don't advertise. They're ridiculous. I don't have pictures. The video. So I have a video on it, and I'm telling you, I feel like it's a really great place to live. I was there a couple times. Kids playing. Big space in between the buildings, common areas. It has like a whole mini mall. There's a butcher shop, 2 restaurants, a coffee shop, a barber shop, a photography studio. a medical, like a little doctor's office thing there. It's like a whole community. Very nice, amazing. I'm sorry, that's apple tree. Mango tree is the same thing and they're right next to each other, so you could expect the same. Everyone should know about that project because it's worth a consideration. It's a pain in the ass to show it to clients because it's a whole day going down to Sioki Mall checking, and it's a huge campus. But everyone really should see it if any of that sounds interesting. Okay. Let's see what our results are going to be for the semifinals. Oh! Boy, I'm setting the stakes high for myself here. The belief is heavy because Amethyst and Belgravia slug it out in a tough matchup. But Belgravia's green overcomes the purple flash. And the class of Belgravia just style-wise ekes out Amethyst. And again, this is considering not Amethyst's construction issues or Belgravia's lack of NCA as of today. We're assuming that these projects move forward and all that. That's how we scored it. But really, this is a style matchup that maybe the ref is a little biased, but I like the greenery waterfall aspect from the purple neon lights and the vibes. But if you're like, I feel like Amethyst is like a younger, kind of in the mix person doing well for themselves, high end. Belgravia is a little bit more subtle. It's like a Rolls Royce, and Amethyst is like a Lamborghini. You know, they're both supercars. Do you want, the chill vibes in the Rolls Royce? Or do you want the loud factor, the everyone sees me in the Lambo factor, with probably like a yellow Lambo, purple Lambo, something like that. Belgravia is subtle. It doesn't stand out. So that's a tough matchup. And then, Luminara versus Pandora. Pandora is a lot, and Luminara can work for more people. And again, we got to be careful about the show house delivering. But that's just how it turned out. I didn't make them on each side of the bracket. I feel like they should have gone against each other before the final. I didn't make up that. But we end up by the same developer, Luminara versus Belgravia. I swear to God, I didn't plan it out to be that way. Uh-oh, Bosnia sounds like a rich country. Let me go right on and Google it. Your friendship circle got money. I don't know about that. Someone from Galaxy One is sending me a message. Is it similar to Apple Tree? Yeah, it's the same as Apple Tree. Yeah, she stayed at Apple Tree. That girl stayed there. Yeah, really nice place. Yeah, Mango Tree and Apple Tree are the same. They're right next to each other. They have the same setup and everything. Really good. A lot of people do stay there. It's cheaper and it's just as good. The quality is good. You're just further away, but it makes sense. I know. How did we end up with this matchup? I feel like this is ridiculous. And when it, because I was using the AI to generate each round, and I just picked, And I didn't know that we were going to end up here. This is not on purpose, I promise. No, we need heavier music. For the final. The Hans Group final. I'm telling you, I almost wanted to change the bracket so that this didn't happen. But it was so much work getting to generate this properly. It was like 3 hours of generating all this. I just said, well, that's what it is. How does Mara Grove compare to Apple Tree and Mango Tree? I believe they are in... Yeah, so the problem is Apple Tree, Mango Tree... The developer perception to me was much better. Mara Grove seemed a little dusty. Mara Grove is also blocked by an apartment that's in front of them facing the national park. So if I'm going to buy there, I want to be facing the national park, and that kind of like turned me off to it. We might still do a video over there, but then I was like, if I do a video here, you know, I'm going to have to really point out like that they don't have the national park view, and it's like 70% of the benefit of being over that way. So I just couldn't, we didn't get to it. I don't know. I really wouldn't even consider them. The pricing isn't that much different. World Cup Finals sponsored by the Hans Group. No, I'm serious. There was no payment involved. I was just sitting at my console with the AI, giving scores, rankings, thinking about it, generating these images. And it just happened because I would have never thought Mango Tree would be there. I would never thought Luck and Ivy, Marble West, Luna Oak either. Well, Luna Oak makes sense. You guys haven't seen content from them because I've spent a lot of time with this developer, but haven't done content with them. So that's what's going on with them. Dang, almost 3 hours. So who's going to win this, though? What's going on? Wait, what's going on with the music? Play this on a loop or something. Okay, here we go. Hey. Okay, so I guess we got to play the final, right? I feel like this is anticlimactic because does it matter who wins? Well, gosh, the one in Kilauea defeats the in-demand Westlands of Belgravia, wins the whole tournament. Can I tell you why? The picture on the right. Because I think walking into this Zen garden with waterfalls and open air and trees is amazing. And then you have the restaurant that's partially outside, cafe, the rooftop amenities, paddle, infinity pool, the bar. Yes, Amethyst also has these things, but Amethyst doesn't have the waterfall garden Zen feel. This is earthy. And I'm buying a 3-bedroom, and I think, you know, it's just the vibe that I want to have. Especially if you have family, like it's more flexible. I think you still get the young, classy executive vibe. Say you get the 68 square meter. If you get the 2-bedroom, you're kind of in the middle. Plus the mini studio concept. You're basically getting a micro studio apartment attached to your unit, if you're buying a 2 or 3 bedroom that has that, no one has that. With a separate kitchen, now I could hire my chef and they don't have to be in my space. Maybe I'll get a driver. Like now it opens up a lot of possibilities. And then again, the attention to detail that I believe they're going to deliver. If they don't, I will say, if I change, I could change my mind now. If that show house ain't showing, oh, it's going to be bad. But I believe Jonas and the Hans Group they've made me a believer. I hope they don't let me down. I'm also putting my money where my mouth is. And Belgravia wins the Nairobi Off-Plan World Cup 2026. Congratulations for winning. I wonder what you guys think. Does Zlatan have an opinion? I wonder what Zlatan would say. Well, Belgravia won the whole tourney. Impressive, well-deserved. I reserve the right to change my mind. Maybe next season, something different happens. There's more projects than ever right now in Nairobi. That's the other thing. So hopefully this whole thing puts everything in context for you. It's not about who's winning and losing. It's really about giving you a big snapshot of the market, some considerations, and to somewhat demonstrate the type of conversations that we have when we're selecting properties. This is a lot of money for people. This is a lot of investment. It can be an emotional thing if you're moving or relocating or even partially doing so. Whatever you buy or even rent can affect your experience in Kenya. And we just want you to be armed with the information to make the best decisions possible. Yes, we have an opinion, but at the end of the day, your opinion is more important. So you pick what you want to pick. We just want to present you the options and the considerations from a professional standpoint so that you can make the best decision possible. And that's what we're doing. Thanks, Tina. And thanks for all the members. That's pretty much all we have today. Unless you guys have more feedback or anything, I'm gonna go get some quick food. I'm gonna go probably put the World Cup games on, and I'm gonna do a quick live for members in about 20 minutes. Will anyone buy the 88? People are buying it. I don't know enough about it to knock it that much, but I don't get it. Again, what's the premium for? Because it's tall? Give me more reasons. Give me more reasons to buy it. Trophies. Lots of members in here today. Shout out to you guys. I'm just going to do a quick live for members only the next 20-30 minutes. When I get back, I will post a community post with all of these, the group stage result, round one. I'll post all these images. They're basically just pictures, and let you guys review that, but don't study it too much. I mean, if I did it today, the result could have been different. Some of them are real close, and there's too many different considerations to compare, like Mango Tree to Belgravia. It doesn't really make sense to compare them like that. But that's where we ended up, guys. I hope, Eddie, what's going on, man? You missed us. But I had fun doing that. It was a lot of prep to do it. I did my best to make things make sense as far as the results. I guess let's put the results up while yeah. So I did my best as far as the everything to make sense. It was cool to put the scores in. And yeah, guys, that's really all I got. Next week, we're going to have a guest show. We're talking about taxes. That question has come up a lot. I think we're going to get a tax professional and a lawyer. Uh, we'll be asking questions because I'm not an expert with taxes. I did 1 year of taxes, but I don't really know what happened. I just let someone do it. So hopefully they did good. Um, Also, I didn't own stuff like that last year. So this year's taxes will be much more interesting. If you're a member, at the end of the year, I'm sure I'll be doing a video about what I did with the taxes. Um, if you're interested in Almasi Insider, the paywall reporting aspect of the website to really get in-depth analysis of properties, and you are an Inner Circle member, that's the $25 membership on YouTube, send me your YouTube username and I will give you a login and I will give you the links. I don't even have the login page set up yet, but I'm going to set that up. You'll be able to log in, and not all the pages connect. It's a whole thing, but basically you'll have beta test access, and I'll be able to give you the information from all that. Yes, Congo. People are surprised, but DRC has been pretty good. Shout out to DRC. Shout out to Senegal, Morocco, Ghana. Who else? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cape Verde. Very interesting. Shout out to all of them. But the ultimate shout out has to go to the USA. I think we could do something. I don't think we could beat the top teams on average. Maybe we could steal a game. I don't know. But I think we could win 2 knockout rounds. I think we can. I believe that we will win. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the World Cup like me, I hope you continue to enjoy. I don't know where I was going with that. Don't be booing the U.S. That's another thing. I'm not one of these guys hating on the U.S. I love America. Okay, I love America. Don't. I'm not one of these people trying to trash the U.S. I you know, don't be in America rooting for these other teams. That's crazy. Great tournament. Belgravia has not been on my radar, but worth a look. Oh wow. Yeah, Egypt, but I don't know. They be trying to act like they're not part of the continent. So yeah, definitely check out Belgravia, guys. Please, uh, involve us with your searches. Don't just go straight to the developer. Like, at least tell them you came from us or something. I appreciate it because a lot of you guys then you want to track back and ask a whole bunch of questions and get our advice and get all the inside details about these projects after you've done already engaged with the developer. Now we can't get commission when you know then we're just giving out free info, say, which is fine because you don't pay Almasi, you don't pay me. Um, so at least give us credit with the development. Um, I still have been helping, even if they go rogue and do their own thing. But come on, help us out. I'll see your show on the rewind. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna go get food. I will be doing a quick members only live in the next 30 minutes or so. I will go to Belgravia one day this week. Yeah, so they're at the Luminara office, but the show house won't be done till September at the GTC. Work with Almasi from the jump. Yeah, I know, right? Some of y'all have like we're buying stuff before we even had the service, so I get it. But yeah, look, this business, I know how things go. But yeah, it's a little funny when we don't get credit for the sale, but then you want to get you want to ask all the important questions to us about the project after you already went past us, you know. Thank you, Walter. You know, but you know, if you choose another agent, you choose another agent. Just the thing is, don't choose another agent and then be asking me a bunch of questions like, what? I head back home. Oh, dang. Yeah, send me an email. I know that Belgravia still needs their NCA approval. They got the NEMA, which they did not have earlier. So NCA is supposed to be fast, but some things with government take a while. But they are building the show house at the GTC, which shows a commitment to really wanting to show what they're going to do. That's why I'm a believer, because that seems very expensive. That's what made me a big believer in Pandora, is when they built that whole show house on site when they're just going to knock it down. Oh, drop my email. Go to the website, almasirealty.com. Go to the contact form here. Just put your info here. Oops. No. Oh, no. How do I do this? Put your info in the contact form here, and then just in the note, let me know, and I'll reach out to you that way. Diplomat was not included because it's mostly sold and they retired. They didn't really retire. I didn't include them just because we talked about it so much. It's mostly sold. I don't recommend most of the units available there, and I wanted to give some other projects an opportunity to win, because Diplomat was going to have to win, unfortunately. So there's that, guys. All right. Fun times. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday with me. Questions, comments, you guys can work with Almasi Realty to go to our website. If you go to buy and fill out the form, we'll set up a consultation, and all these conversations, what we talk about. Of course, then we get into the legal entities, a lawyer, all the developer stuff, selecting a unit, making sure your unit doesn't get blocked, all that. That's all the type of stuff that we do. And we're just here to help. All right. I'm tired. 3 hours for the World Cup. It was worth it. It was fun. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys next week talking about taxes. See ya.